Welcome everybody to this week in wrestling on the Horny Goat channel. We've got hot NVW action come action from the Tokyo Dome, but before we do that, we have this week in wrestling to talk about. Joining me as always is JP and Heather. How are y'all tonight?
Okay. We're fine. We're fine. The fuck was that all about? We're fine. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, I got like a bubble stuck
Also,
right here.
Shut up.
Also joining us is Miss Gina. How are you tonight?
My throat hurts. It's the fat asses. But otherwise good.
Also, okay. Also joining us is the Sex Bear Canadian Basement. How are you tonight?
Glorious.
No, I won't get this.
He just touched Sami Zayn's penis. He's doing wonderful.
We did it through our eyes.
And we got a special guest tonight. Dory, how are you tonight?
I'm jealous that Basement touched his penis and I didn't.
You should have went to the
And-
sex bathroom.
Of course, we have Trek. Moving
Oh
on.
my
What do you want to start off with tonight, JP?
Trek, I love you.
What's that?
Oh, poor Trek.
Say it
What do
again.
you want to start off with tonight, JP?
Well, there's a lot of talk out there about NXT moving to FS1 on Wednesdays.
I'm not a fan.
I don't
It's
care.
bound to happen.
I don't
I'm not
care.
a fan because I don't have cable.
I don't want commercials.
You don't want commercial. Oh, you'll be fine.
Well, I don't have cable, which is why I'm not a fan, so because like right now it's just so easy for me to turn on a network, so
I know.
pissy. I'm getting pissy.
Now, that being said, before everybody gets their panties all in a wad, I actually read that article and listened to Triple H. I don't think they're... He said this. We are constantly discussing about moving stuff around. So I don't think it's happening yet. That being said, I would say that it might happen. Just because. And I'm sorry you don't have cable.
Actually,
how
I'm
are you
not
gonna watch
because it's
how are you going to watch AEW if you didn't have cable?
Yeah, Gina.
I
Fucking
choose
asshole.
to plead the fifth.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I get it, but it's the way of the world today. You don't have cable, you're not going to get to watch the show. It's just bottom line. I mean, there's ways to go about watching it.
Come on. Like,
I'm not
all
gonna
these
flip-
wrestling programs, they need to get with the program because, legit, everybody's streaming now.
Yes.
Streaming.
Okay, so here's my question. Because they are moving to FS1, or at least we believe that is true. Me and Chuck were talking about this the other night, and it was like, are they going to be airing it the next day on the network? Or is that going to change? And I feel like even if it doesn't change immediately, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, it's going to change regardless, because it makes no sense for Fox Sports, the person, the conglomerate that's paying them, to be like, yeah, no, you can show it the next day, whatever, it doesn't matter.
You know what?
It'll
Though?
probably be like Raw and SmackDown, where it's like a year behind.
Either that or you can like watch it on Hulu the next day.
That's true.
We don't have to.
But like, okay, my opinion, if they want people to actually, like, if they want to beat out AEW, then what they should be doing is they should be talking to actual like local networks like Fox, CBS, NBC, yada yada yada, the networks like that, because the audience that they really want to aim at is going to be your audiences where like a lot of them in areas where a lot of them don't have the network. So you're going to be best airing on a local kind of, what do you call it, mainstream cable or whatever, instead of like a channel that some people may not have.
I'm
But
going
what
to.
what network is going to pick up NXT? That's not a network they're already related to or have a relation with. Like I can't
Well, why
imagine
can't
any of
they-
those other networks picking up
Well,
NXT.
But here's my thing, like, why can't they like go through like Fox, for instance, and
They are.
like
Fox
no,
Sports 1.
yeah, for SmackDown. But what I'm
That's what
saying
NXT is
is,
supposed to be on.
yeah, but not, but like just regular Fox. I'm saying, like, not FS1, just like regular Fox. Why can't
Okay,
they do like
well,
an hour
Because
on
Fox
like
wants to
a
build
fucking
up
Saturday
FS1.
or something?
Well, reason that they will never go to Fox is they do more on Fox than just wrestling. And
Yeah.
you got to remember, football season's coming up. When are they going to do it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When are
But
they
it's-
going to baseball season? It's going to hinder on baseball season.
Yeah, I forgot about football season.
So you can't just say, well, we're going to put it on Fox because that won't work.
It's also a relationship between Fox and WWE. Fox wants to use WWE like WWE wants to use Fox. So
Correct.
Fox is going to say, we want to build up our secondary, tertiary, whatever channel it is, then we can use you to do it. And I think both of the Fox as a company and WWE are looking at it and saying, NXT is not something that should be on primetime cable or like main cable. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a third tier show.
Well,
Mhm.
here's my question. Like the Ace just brought up in the chat that NWA is getting a weekly TV show. So where do you think that they're going to be going? Because I don't think that they've announced
They're
yet
going to be like
where they're
Impact.
going.
They're going to be like Impact.
They're going to be on the El Rey network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
because that worked out so well for Lucha Underground.
Trek. The point is it's not. You think about it. The NWA is not the NWA that you remember it as. It's actually Hollywood Wrestling
Yeah.
is the company that the NWA World Heavyweight title is run out of. So that being said, that is a small indies company
Mm-hmm.
that is funded by Bill Corgan, who owns the rights to the NWA name,
Right.
I think, is how it goes. So that's why you're going to be seeing the NWA title, and that's what it's based on some channel like the Outdoor Network or something like that. I'm not saying that's where it's going to be.
HGTV.
Yeah.
HGTV.
With that being said, we just had Connor Okayfabe join us. I
Hi,
don't
Connor.
know. Have you been listening to the conversation that we've been having? Or what are your thoughts on NXT? And then we started talking about NWA.
I can't hear him.
Me neither.
Me third. Whoa, are you in the darkness?
He's become some sort of
Oh,
robot
God.
in the background.
Basement. He's Stranger Things.
Right?
I love it. He's in the upside down.
You're in the upside
So
down.
is my penis.
Oh my god. I don't know what you guys are doing.
But no, okay. No matter what AEW did, I think WWE was always going to do this with
They
their.
were gonna
And
do
it was
it
probably
sooner or
worked into
later,
their
yes.
contract with Fox Sports when they signed that contract.
Well, here's
well,
my
that
question.
article.
Sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
Thank you. That article said that they were waiting specifically until after AEW announced their deal so they could announce NXT. Now, I mean, like how that's gonna change now, I don't know, but that's what they were saying in an article that I showed JP the other night.
Well,
Right.
here's my question: are they going to stay on Wednesday nights
Yes.
to combat AEW?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know.
See, like I don't like because
It's going
then,
2 hours to as well.
because then I kind of am forced to choose between the two, and I realize it's competition, but it sucks that I'm gonna have to choose.
I'm gonna
But
watch neither of them.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Why are we choosing? Though? How are you choosing?
Well, I won't be choosing because I'll be watching both because I enjoy NXT a lot.
And
But,
how will you be
like-
watching them, Gina?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I plead the fifth. But like I'm gonna have to choose which one to watch when it's live, and then the other one's gonna have to go
See,
later.
I have the luxury I can watch them both if I want to. I'm not going to do that. I can watch one, DVR the other, DVR the other, watch the other. It don't matter to me. I don't know. People out there fucking putting these polls out. Which one are you gonna watch? How about both? All of it? Like somebody put out a poll today, like what show are you most excited for? And I said all of them, good or bad. It's wrestling, and that's what people are missing. The whole point is it's wrestling. Okay.
Sorry, JP. What did you say? I was putting a poll out about what show people are going to watch.
Funny guy. No, I just
Is that
that's
poll
my
gonna be on? Is that poll gonna be on Fight TV, Connor?
Yeah, well, I'm still on there until I get canceled.
we'll be talking about that in a second too, because I heard that today. You heard NWA the what I think it's Hollywood Wrestling is where the NWA world title is pretty much run out of. Is that correct, or am I incorrect in that assumption?
He for the most part, so the guy who you see, I don't know if you guys have seen the NWA videos where they were like
Yes.
had the guy who's like the ring announcer, the interviewer. He actually runs the promotion, and he's
Yes.
very
Yeah, that's
he's,
Billy from Smashing Pumpkins.
No.
No. Sorry, the gentleman who's from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yes.
If you
Oh,
if you
okay.
like see like in the early days when they were doing the NWA title builds, there's a gentleman who's in the ring who does the interviews.
Mhm.
He is the owner of I believe he's the promoter of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So he has
Yes.
a very good relationship with like Billy Corgan and all that stuff. And
Yes.
and so that's how that's how it developed. But yeah, as far as I know, I'm actually excited to see what they do with the NWA tapings. I'm
Me too.
very curious to see how they're going to make it different.
I actually like the NWA. If you ever check, I've subscribed to them and I watch their videos. Like their builds, the storytelling is fantastic in my eyes. I love it. I love what they did with that. I don't know how it's been lately because I've kind of too much wrestling at one time for me. I think.
No.
Overwhelming me. But I want to get back into watching it because I like Magnus. The guy, he's still a champion, isn't he?
You mean
Yes,
Aldous?
he is.
Yes, Magnus, Aldous, whatever.
I thought he was going to say Magnum.
Magnus.
I'm like, who the fuck is Magnus?
Magnus, it's Aldous, Nick Aldous. He was
Okay.
Magnus in Impact. That was his name.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds like he's
True story.
hanging dick for
What
sure.
do you think about NXT?
Useless fact of the day.
What do you think about NXT moving to FS1 if it happens, Connor?
I think it'll definitely make. I'm definitely curious to see what the ratings are going to be.
Yes.
I think that even if you take AEW out of the equation, right? Let's say that they were going to go Wednesdays.
Mhm.
I'm very curious to see what the ratings are going to be like. I'm a little worried. It's so hard because the FS1 move, I'm not surprised at because they have that natural relationship with Fox. They're looking for content. They're looking for content providers. So I think we all knew it was a matter of time. What I'm more curious about is the 2-hour bump up, going from 1 to 2 hours. Is that feasible? Does that mean that more NXT talent are going to be featured, which is sometimes a good thing? Is that going to change the way the takeovers are made? Like it's a lot of questions more about that side of it than I am about them going to FS1.
Correct. That's a good point.
I do feel like with them moving to an actual a cable provider, and not only on the network, they will be forced to be treated like an actual third brand, if not developmental.
Yes, they
Yeah,
would
but what
kind
I
of have
don't-
to change that.
What I don't like about them possibly going to like mainstream cable is they're gonna have to you don't see a whole lot of really gruesomeness in NXT to begin with, but like sometimes you do. Like you'll see they'll do things that they don't do on Raw or SmackDown because it's on cable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to see NXT be watered down the way that Raw and SmackDown have been.
I don't think it will be.
don't think
NXT
it
is
will.
actually, I think, in my opinion, more PG than Raw or SmackDown.
It is.
And the whole idea behind the brand is to be wrestling centric. I don't think that's going to change. If they change that and make it a SmackDown 2.0, it's actually going to hurt not only themselves but Fox Sports and also who they're competing against. They want to compete with a wrestling centric promotion with their own wrestling centric promotion. In my opinion.
But anytime you have advertisers, you have to kind of feed to what they want. So, for example,
Right.
Velveteen Dream is character. They might start changing people's characters because it doesn't go with what the advertisers want.
I mean, it's Fox.
I mean, Fox is super.
He's gonna
liberal.
come out fucking painted orange.
No, he's just gonna come out like dressed in a lingerie, because that's
No, isn't
gonna
Fox
be
the other way with Fox News?
No,
Fox
I thought
News.
Fox was super liberal.
I think they're the
No.
opposite. They're like the opposite.
Oh, they're the opposite. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of NBC. Sorry.
No, that's all right. NBC, ABC, CBS, they're all the liberal. They take more of a liberal route. Dory, Bobbitt, what are your thoughts on NXT? I know Bobbitt's talked about he needs to wash his hair.
For me,
What the
Bless you.
fuck?
So much what?
Bless you.
What the fuck just happened?
Sorry.
She's got problems. A lot of problems.
I think he's the only one. Everybody else is laughing. Trek is the only one. Bless you. Go ahead, Bobbitt. I'm sorry.
And thank you, Jack.
Bobbitt.
I don't know how to feel about the whole them going to 2 hours because, like Connor said, it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Because, yeah, more talent will be featured, but is it talent that we really want to see though? Does anybody really want to see Bugenheimen?
Yes.
but how do you know they're not going to pull from NXT UK and like some of those other places and kind of put some of them in like here and there?
205 Live.
Oh, I'm saying, well, they have to do something with 205 Live.
Abolished.
Up
And
the top.
they've kind of already been kind of molding 205 Live talent in with NXT. I mean, look at what's happening
Kill it with
this Sunday.
fire.
We have Wani Lorcan
Lorcan.
going
Lorcan,
against.
even a fucking cruiserweight. The guy is
But-
gigantic. looking.
Exactly,
No,
but we have
he's-
him
he's a
going up
cruiserweight.
against Drew Gulak. So like they're already, and we've seen Drew Gulak over on NXT a couple of times as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already kind of molding those two promotions together.
So if
Did-
that's what I see on NXT, like I'd be fine with that because those matches are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that picture with Oni Lorcan with his finger up?
No.
Yep.
I did.
Oh,
Holy
God.
Oh my god,
Good
his finger is
fucking
so
God.
super creepy.
He's E ET.
How does it
Sorry, I've not seen it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's so creepy, JP. Like his finger is literally, it looks like a fucking foot long hot dog.
I,
It's
I-
creepy.
I believe you. I believe
He's
you.
also a
I-
cruiserweight, by the way.
He's also a proctologist. True story.
It's like, I can also feel your tonsils.
Hey, while I'm back here, you might want to get your teeth checked.
right.
But here's
Anybody
the
else?
question:
Any-
like, if his fingers are that long, then how does he have a super long penis too?
No, maybe the curtains don't match the drapes.
I mean, I don't mind them going to FS1. I know that Dory. I do have concerns with, and Dory said it. Commercials.
Yeah, that's gonna
This-
kill him.
That's gonna hurt a little bit, but I'm neither here nor there.
Also, other than the pay-per-views, what are you guys going to watch on the network now?
That's what I was gonna say. How is it gonna impact the network?
Well, I mean, good God, they have
Because it's
tons
the
of
only
content.
thing I watch
Well,
weekly.
Well, just,
If that is the only thing you watch on the network, shame on you.
You should watch Miss and
Well,
Mrs.
it's the only thing
Mrs.
that I like religiously watch on the network is that. Like, I'll watch like some of the other content, but it's not like, oh my god, I have to tune in right now. Like, it's stuff that I can watch on demand. It's not like very time sensitive. Like, it's still.
NXT will ultimately be on there because it's part of WWE content anyway, but it just
But-
won't be there the
But if
next
it's like
day.
on SmackDown, it'll be like forever before they actually put it on.
Now, hear me out. I think they might do because they're moving to these tiers. I think they might do either the $14.99 or the $9.99, saying it airs the next day.
I agree.
I think they might
well,
actually
with
be
the
able to exercise that
$14.99
option.
one, it's the live NXT. Whereas
Yes.
with the $9.99, it's the recorded NXT.
Yes.
So it's going to be the $14.99. Looks like I'm going to $14.99, which is like $79.99 in Canada.
I like I said, I don't have an issue with it. However, there are the concerns, like with what Connor has and other people. And Bobbitt's falling asleep again. Just kidding, Bobbitt. I know you're not.
No, I'm not.
I'm kidding. God damn it. So that being said, moving on. The next thing, and I heard this today, and I know Connor is. This is an interesting one. Fight.
Shut up.
WWE, I have heard, is in talks to purchase Fight. Is that what? Am I right in saying that, or what?
WWE almost owns Connor. Fuck you.
What?
You're gonna be a WWE employee, or you're gonna be fucked.
Or both.
If I see you, it's gonna be both. That's for damn sure.
I mean,
So
wait, what?
I don't think
What?
anything's gonna come of that. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're just gonna buy it up so that AEW can't use it or whatever, or anybody can use it. It'd be I just don't see that happening.
What the fuck is WWE gonna use it for?
Yeah,
I'm just
they already
hold
have
on.
a streaming service.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
They're trying to wipe him out.
I'm just tearing up my contract with Fight. Hold on one second.
Sorry.
There we go.
I just don't think there's. I like the only sense to it is to buy it to obliterate it, but it's also like that's a kind of almost a waste of money.
Well, another thing too is though, if they do acquire that, think of all the content that if they do want it to put it on the network, like look what they just did with Evolve, right? Like I know obviously Evolve and them have a really close relationship, but what if they start buying this content? Like they purchase it just specifically for the content. They're a content company. People like us have watched almost every majority of stuff on the network. So how else are we gonna get new content?
But if they buy the Fight TV, do they also get like rights to show fucking AEW then?
No, because
No,
AEW won't
Well, double or
go through
nothing,
them.
for instance.
Which
AEW.
AEW hasn't even really gone through Fight TV their past couple of pay-per-views. You can purchase it on Fight if you want to, but they've been going through Bleacher Report Live.
Yes.
I'm just saying for the first pay-per-view, if they buy it, did they get the first pay-per-view of AEW and show it on repeat?
No.
No, I think that belongs to Ring of Honor.
For that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That doesn't belong to Ring of Honor. It belongs to AEW.
The if you're talking about the original one from last year, that
All
one
In?
does belong to.
No,
All In does
he
belong-
was referring
No.
to Double or Nothing.
I'm sorry, I was actually thinking of All In. I just fucked the
All
names
In
up.
does belong to
But
Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of content on Fight that's mostly like local indie promotions and that kind of thing, where they might make a deal where that's the content that they're buying out.
Well,
And I
and they
think that'd be a
did
good-
say, sorry, Dory.
I just think it'd be a good thing because again, WWE is a content company, and anytime you can get people watching, even local stuff like on that big of a platform, like why wouldn't you?
And they did say that with the $14.99 package with the network, now that you're going to be able to get access to indie shows.
There you go.
If the $14.99 package doesn't come with a live stream of Connor showering, I'm not buying it.
Same. Wait, what?
Same.
You want to watch yourself shower?
Hey, you know how hard it was to install that giant ass mirror?
Worth it.
And I don't mean like a giant ass mirror. I mean a giant ass mirror.
Anybody else got any thoughts on? Like I said, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but
It's in discussion.
okay.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know. Essentially, from what I understand, they would be looking to buy them out as far as like just eliminate the competition. I think that what they said they might be the theory is that they would be looking to somehow integrate some of the workings of how they perform their streaming service into the WWE network. So they would like kind of like Frankenstein the way they do Fight into the way they do the WWE network, as far as like what systems they use. But they would not own Fight TV itself does not own distribution rights as far as like original content all that much. They don't. I mean, to be safe, I read through my contract. They don't own my stuff. So if it's the same with, if I'm assuming if it's the same with the indies, they're not going to own squat. So it's not. They're more to just kind of shut them down like the territories.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I understand that, but in the same sense, there's so many different streaming services that they could use, like Bleacher Report Live, or I'm sure there's other ones, so like they could create their own, for fuck's sake. So it's like
show 3 pay-per-views on rerun.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying create their own right now, but eventually they could create their own. So is it worth buying up the competition just for the fuck of it?
And
before they're even
considering,
really competition, they're not even really competition right now.
I mean, it's. I would think that most companies would pounce on competition before competition becomes competition because it makes it more expensive.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, what are they going to do? Are they just going to buy up every fucking streaming service?
And that's the thing. There's so many different streaming services out there that they can get a contract with somebody else,
exactly,
or work something with somebody else. That I think these rumors are just going to eventually fizzle out.
I mean, I think that they very well might buy out Fight, but then you got to figure like where's all of the boxing matches and all of that shit. Where's all that going to go? Because Fight is like that's where a lot of UFC matches and shit are aired too.
And like everybody's saying, like, I mean, in the end, if they're buying it out to squash it in this day and age where there are so many other options, it makes there's no additional win. All they're doing is spending money to get rid of something that can be replaced by something else really quickly. So exactly. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it does, I could definitely see it happening for like the reason that Connor said, where like maybe they just really like the algorithms that they use and like stuff like that to try to incorporate that into the network. I could see them buying it for that reason, but to squash the competition, it doesn't make sense.
Hey, Connor, if this deal does go through, me and you will start a show together called the All Misfit Toys.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
All right, so the next thing we got on our plate. Anybody else got anything they want to add, or are we good?
At what point does the government? At what point does the government have to step in because it's eventually becoming a monopoly?
Trek.
They
would
true.
have stepped in a long time ago.
Yeah, the government for this. Come on, that's never gonna happen.
Come on.
They had to investigate them when they bought out WCW and ECW. They said
yeah,
risk of it, but
they did. Like
Trek.
he has a point.
Trump is friends with Vince McMahon. What the fuck? He's doing a great job. He's doing terrific. No, sir, he's buying everything. He's doing a great job. Love him. Great. Moving on. Fucking idiot. You don't understand what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't.
It's true. I mean, for fuck's sake, like Linda McMahon works for Trump's
Not
cabinet.
anymore.
Not anymore.
She
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
She's catatonic again.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Dory, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I just hope that it doesn't pretty much like get rid of content for people. Like, I think the more wrestling that's out there, the better. And if they're just buying it to be like, okay, we just want you to disappear, like people aren't going to find other ways to get that content out there.
True. Okay. The next thing on my docket here, Paige. Apparently, she's got to have surgery on her neck again. I think that's why the Kabuki Warriors did not win the titles. And that's why I don't think they're going to win the titles for a while.
Too many loads to the face.
Oh, jeez.
I don't. I just wanted to point that out. That my feeling as to why the Kabuki Warriors didn't win the fucking title.
I agree with that.
Because they need Paige. Because neither one of them.
That and the fact that like WWE for some odd reason seems to hate Asian people.
I don't know if they hate Asian people. I mean,
I feel like they struggle with promoting them, though they do try. They just struggle with the execution. If there's a language barrier between, like, the thing is with WWE, no matter what, no matter who you are, Asian, fucking white, black, Filipino, dwarf, if you can't speak on the mic, you're not gonna do very well in the company.
I have a theory.
course you do. Climate change? I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
Don't even get me started. No, I like okay. Like Basement was just saying, people who struggle with language. Okay, you notice how like when Andrade got called up, he wasn't being pushed until
Yes.
he started dating Charlotte, and then as soon as he started dating Charlotte, now we've seen him consecutively, like week after week, we see him coming out in matches.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else find that a little
I
odd
still
that he's not getting pushed, and then all of a sudden?
I still don't think they're pushing that guy. I mean, look at what they're doing with him. They are killing
has to
him.
help him at
She
every
has to
turn.
help him at every turn to win a match. Every time. And
Yeah, but
that's
he was like
killing
that in NXT too. It's just his character.
I
I
understand.
wouldn't pinpoint his relationship with Charlotte as the driving force for him being featured a bit more. WWE has kind of made it a point to feature guys that they haven't, and they made it publicly with the Kevin Owens saying, "You're not featuring this guy. You're not featuring that guy." They've tried to feature people. Well, I mean, albeit like they've featured people stupidly, but like. It's the same thing. He's just gotten more exposure, and I don't think it has anything to do with his relationship. In
The
my
thing that
opinion,
I think
I
is
just find
so,
that talking, huh?
the thing that I find is so weird is all these wrestlers, like they're phenomenal in the ring, but they have a language barrier. Why aren't they getting them private tutors?
Well, I know like Asuka, they had a private tutor for Asuka. Shinsuke too.
Shouldn't Shinsuke's
Sorry, it was me.
Well, Shinsuke learned English from New Japan.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say learned English.
No speak English.
For example, like I remember when Rusev came. I mean, that was pretty rough. And look at him now. Like he's so much better. Like I just thinking they're just like, okay, well, we don't need to really focus on them talking, so let's just have them in the ring.
I think even if they do focus on them talking, it takes a long time to learn a language, especially at like 30 plus years old. And the schedule they have, I mean, it's not going to be prioritized over. Can we put them on all the shows we have, all the live events we have?
I think Charlotte's helping him, trying to help him learn anyway, as is Zelina.
Yeah. The perfect example of this, did anybody watch Ms. and Mrs. last week?
Nope.
Of course.
No.
Yes,
By
did.
the way, that
I
show
did.
is great.
And you're talking about the Asuka segment with Miz?
Yes. When the baby crawled for the first time and he's like, Asuka, she's crawling, and you could see like the confusion on Asuka's face. And then she sees the video and she just thumbs up. She's like, oh, she crawled. Thumbs up.
Sometimes that happens.
I want to say this. Since we have a future WWE employee on the call, just let me promote the Asian women. I know how to do it right.
Oh,
Just saying.
God.
Bobby, shut the
Don't,
fuck up.
don't do it. Don't do it.
No, it's just going to be an orgy.
Restraining orders.
Why is there so much rice?
Bobbit's just in a fucking pool of rice.
Well, yeah, we'll have a fucking, instead of a Jello match, it'd be a rice match.
No, if Bobby gets into control of that, there will be a tentacle on a pole match.
Oh, God.
Funny, there wasn't any teriyaki sauce on this rice when I left the room alone with Bobbit earlier.
Oh, God.
Anybody else got any thoughts on I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
I
We're
don't
talking
even-
about
I
Paige.
Paige.
Oh, yeah.
Paige.
Sticky Paige.
Well, with
The only
Paige,
thing is, with the way neck surgeries are now, like, well, except for like when I watched Nikki Bella get hers, she was in a neck brace. But some of the surgeries now aren't that abrasive, and like she could be back in like
No,
a couple
she'll
of weeks.
never wrestle.
no,
again.
she's not gonna. She can't wrestle anymore.
No,
because,
I'm not talking about wrestling, but I'm saying she could be back ringside.
Well, yeah, because like
No, I didn't say I didn't mean she could come back like to wrestle. I mean she could be back in a couple of weeks ringside.
Oh well,
yep,
yeah.
we gotcha.
That's that I can understand.
You also
Okay,
gotta look back
so-
at John Cena's neck surgery when he had it. He was back without a brace that day, walking around. Even though
Okay,
John Cena.
so person with neck injury on call. I can say right now, I had my first surgery back in 2010, and that surgery they had to physically cut me open, and I was in a neck brace for like 6 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
However, my neck doctor did say I went to see him like 3 years ago, and at that time he did say no. I'm sorry, it's going on 5 years ago. And he said in about 5 years, which is about right now, I was going to require another neck surgery, and I was really worried, being single mom, But he said that there are like with what I have now, which is basically the same thing as Paige, which is herniated discs.
Herniated?
You got it. I believe you.
He said that they can do the surgery via laser. You're still going to be in a neck brace for a while after the surgery, but it's not nearly as long as if you were actually cut open.
It's definitely a lot less invasive, and
Yeah.
you can be up and walking within the same day.
Yeah. My doctor told me, like I said, even though I would be in a neck brace, it's same day surgery. It would literally be. He said I'd go in, they would do the laser thing, and I would just have to wear the neck brace, and I would be walking out that same day.
Yeah.
Have they announced when Paige is supposed to have the surgery?
What?
She's going in this weekend
Yes.
because she had to cancel her meet and greets for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just read Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross this Monday night for the tag titles.
Okay, but again, I know that, but that doesn't mean that they're winning
Gonna
now.
win.
No. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's what they just announced a couple of hours ago on WWE.com.
Yeah, but
I actually don't think they should win, in my honest opinion. I think Alexa Bliss and fucking Nikki should hold it for a bit.
Well, then if you look at how long the Iconics had the belts, like how many times they have to defend, like they could win the belts, and we just don't see them for a month.
We're
you know
talking
what,
about
like-
the Iconics, though. Come on.
But you know what, though? It wasn't anything against the Iconics. From what I read from several different articles, Vince McMahon never wanted women's tag titles.
Yep.
That was
That
just
doesn't
something that
surprise
they
me,
did
'cause they don't
basically
work.
that was something that they did basically to like please the fans.
Yes.
And the fans
So-
only bitched because a certain little superstar who's now sitting at home on her hands bitched and moaned so much.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't care.
Who the certain little superstar that you're talking about, I have a really strong feeling is going to be back this weekend.
I do too. We'll talk about that when the time comes.
She'll be back with her butterflies and
What?
her rainbows and all that shit that she's been talking
Like a
on.
bomb.
unicorn!
Like I said, we'll talk about that when time
What a
comes. goddammit.
unicorn!
Anyway, let's talk about AEW real quick. There's a video
Oh,
out.
God.
It's real quick. They announced their first 3 dates:
Mhm.
Washington, Boston, and Philadelphia.
Connor,
Okay.
you mentioned you might be going
Thoughts?
to the one in Boston.
Yep.
Boston. Oh God, I would want to go so
Here-
bad.
Here is my thinking on this. That's great. I want them to come to Madison and see if they can sell out.
Yep, same here.
I don't think they can.
WWE can't even sell out
No.
in Madison or Minneapolis.
No, they can't. That's the problem. I don't care about Philadelphia. I don't care about Chicago. I don't care about Boston, Washington, Los Angeles, New
They're
York.
they're
Brooklyn,
big wrestling
They're
fans.
all big
Well, you know what?
wrestling. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like Minneapolis used to be a pretty big wrestling spot too, because there's a lot of like big time wrestlers that came out of, like smaller promotions that were up by Minneapolis. So like the first
Yep.
event that I went to, up in Minneapolis, it was sold out, but that was also back in 2014, you
Right.
know. And then we went to TLC, and they were having a hard time selling tickets for a fucking pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And like only like half of the arena was pretty much full, and I couldn't believe the difference that 4 years made in a town that was supposedly a huge wrestling town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that
It's-
4 years, things change. You got changes
Yeah.
in the economy, prices raising,
Well-
the cost of living wages going up.
Not only that, but I think like a lot of people kind of fell out of wrestling because a lot of those smaller indie promotions that were up in Minneapolis or in surrounding areas in Minnesota, a lot of them closed down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like there's less people being exposed to wrestling up in these areas.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing that I have talked about before, and me and Basement have talked about this, and I think we agree on it. AEW is always going to have fans. They're going to have me. They're going to have Basement. They're going to have Gina. They're going to have Connor. You know, they're going to have all of us on this call. Hardcore fans are the ones that they're going to cater to, but in order for them to succeed, they kind of do need to get into that market where WWE is and draw them in somehow, because you will not succeed if you don't.
You need new eyes on your product all the time.
Because what's going to happen when all the hardcore fans either, I'm not going to live forever. Not.
Well, I
Do
think
you
that
see what
they're
I'm
kind
saying?
of yeah, but I think that they're kind of putting it on us hardcore fans to kind of pass on, like pass the torch to our kids, which I try to do with my kids. And Austin, he used to be a huge wrestling fan. Like when he was younger, oh my God, I could not get that kid to stop watching wrestling.
Okay.
But then with the product being the way that it's been the past couple of years, okay, for example, we went in 2014 to Raw, and he was telling me what was happening with storylines because I had kind of fallen out at that time.
Right.
We go at TLC, fast forward 4 years, and I'm having to tell him what's going on because he fell off. He stopped watching because the product it just got that bad that he lost interest.
It's attention. That's the problem with WWE and wrestling in general.
Yeah.
The attention span of people today is not there.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that 100%. I would say like WWE's biggest problem is that they rely on the hardcore fan base to always be there. But other than that, they're pinpointing a revolving door of fans. People more interested in the reality TV aspect of wrestling than they are interested in the actual wrestling itself. And that's completely on them because they always go much more with the entertainment side than the actual wrestling side, which is why I think you'd get like wrestling fans watching New Japan or any other promotion that's wrestling centric for a longer period of time than you would get in people paying attention to what the current day WWE Raw and SmackDown are.
Yeah.
It's not only that. WWE is also going after a huge demographic.
Yeah, but like the problem is like you're right, because the demographic is so big, they can only present a certain type, and it's actually as lofty of an idea as it is, it also hurts them in the long run.
It does.
Because of that idea that we can get everybody from 2 years old to 99 years old. You just can't.
Well, and
You're
I'm going to
gonna
tell you
create
right
a
now,
shit
like
product.
what brought my son into wrestling was what I watched when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, because I had him at 19, so like from the moment that he was born, he was pretty much sitting in my lap watching wrestling. But this is back in like the Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy and Stone Cold and all them days. So like he grew up kind of, that was his initial, what he was exposed to, not so much Stone Cold, but he was exposed to
The Rock.
that ruthless aggression era to start off with. And then, so like that made him want to go back and watch the Attitude Era, which he has all the DVDs from the Attitude Era and stuff like that. So he was a huge Jeff Hardy fan forever. Well, then John Cena came up and he loved John Cena. So then he was in the John Cena era, but then as soon as John Cena kind of fell off and kind of got boring a little bit and there weren't any other characters there to replace John Cena, he fell off.
Of course.
But I will say the wrestlers themselves, and even when I started watching wrestling, it's the same thing. The wrestlers are the hook, but the product as a whole, what you're presenting on television, is the line that's going to keep them there. Otherwise, you get this revolving door. And WWE for a long time has failed producing something that wasn't just initial hook. But they hook a lot of people, but they can't keep them.
Right.
Well, and I think that we can all say, like everybody on this call pretty much can say that there's been times where we've fallen off of WWE. I know I have. There was a good like 5-6 years that I fell off and I just stopped watching?
Well, we're doing it for wrestling memories. 1995. I mean, I couldn't watch wrestling because one, I was either drunk,
Ooh.
laying in vomit, or
Oh, ewy.
or
Yummy.
or I was deployed and I could not watch wrestling all the time. So I just wasn't there.
Yeah, see, I just fell
But
off
other than
because I
that,
lost interest in the product.
I've been watching wrestling since I was 7 years old. So
I might not have always watched. Even when I was away from wrestling, I still kind of knew what was happening. It wasn't like fully removed from my life. I came back to wrestling when I discovered other promotions that were wrestling centric. One of them being
Yeah.
Lucha Underground, the other being New Japan, and it kind of got me
New
back into
Japan.
WWE.
right.
See, I think a lot of the reason why.
For me,
Go ahead, Bobbit.
go ahead, Gina.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think that a lot of the reason why I kind of fell off with wrestling too was because like there was a few years that like I didn't have cable, and this was before like streaming was a thing. Like the WWE network didn't exist, so like I lost touch with wrestling because I didn't have access to it, but I really didn't care.
Right.
So, but I'm sorry, Bobbit. What were you saying?
Go ahead, Bobbit.
I fell off of wrestling twice. Once it was, I think, 2009 through like 12, and then again like 2013 and 14. But what I'm curious about the most for AEW is, I live in Flair country. I'm curious to see how they do around here.
They'll do fine. It's wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
In the wrestling rich country or areas of the country, it's gonna succeed because they're the hardcore wrestling fans.
Well, and this is one of the reasons why, like, when New Japan comes to like the west or the East Coast like that, New Japan has no problem putting asses in seats either because it's wrestling.
But it's also like so infrequent that it becomes like an event that can't miss. As far as it goes with WWE, like it at a certain point in time, and this is more to do with the way the world has gone. It didn't WWE or wrestling in general stop being like water cooler talk.
Mm-hmm.
It like people stopped talking about it, and that's the thing that hit them the most.
And I think that that's what they talk about when they say that wrestling is a dying sport.
It is.
Because it is, but yet it isn't. Because like with us hardcore fans, it's never going to die. Like wrestling is always going to be there. There's some of us that have wrestling in our blood. Like we live and breathe wrestling. We love it. But as far as it being how it was back in like the Hulk Hogan days or the Ultimate Warrior days or anything like that, like exactly, it's fallen off. And now if you say that you're a wrestling fan, people look at you and go, you know that shit's fake, right? Which I fucking hate, by the way. Just stop doing that.
That question. Here,
like,
let me put a fucking arm wrench
stop.
on you dumbass. Is that fake? But
it is fake. It is staged and everything. But that's, if you don't know that going in, you're a fucking retard.
Exactly.
In all honesty, like we know it is. Most of everything else you watch on TV, for the most part, is fake or staged, except
that's
for sports, and even then, who knows?
But that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, you know, the ballet is staged. You know, like that is a staged thing. You go to see a Broadway show, that's a staged thing. Like wrestling, as far as WWE wise, and even AEW, it's wrestling entertainment. You know, so like, unless you're talking about like a New Japan thing, and the only reason why some of the shit in wrestling is staged is to make sure that these athletes don't get fucking hurt. You know, so I have no problem watching something that's staged because I tell them, would you have a problem going to the ballet and being like, oh, it's staged. It's staged so that the ballerinas don't get hurt. No.
But you look at UFC, for instance, okay? Are the fights staged? Maybe sometimes there's somebody that's supposed to take a fall or whatever, but for the most part, I'm going to say it's real.
Yeah.
But the characters involved, they realized how a fighter becomes an icon, and it's through being entertaining. So you can see that portion of WWE, the entertainment portion, has bled over to the UFC, where you've got bigger than life characters. There's nobody. I mean, there's not all these guys are walking around being fucking super extra human beings.
Right. Anybody else?
I just tell them it's not fake, it's predetermined. I'm like, it's not fake. It's predetermined that they know the outcome, but it sure as hell is not fake when somebody gets hurt. Like where Paige got hurt, it wasn't fake. When Owen Hart died, it wasn't fake.
It's a
Shit
performance.
happens. It's predetermined.
Yeah.
We all know that. But for all people that say it's fake, they're full of shit. There's a difference between being fake and being predetermined. Ask Austin what happened. Ask Austin if his neck injury was fake.
Well, and that I agree completely with what Basement just said. It's a performance, and that's why I compare it to something like the ballet, because it's a performance.
But they perform on such a high level and so frequently that you kind of have to take the physicality of the sport into account, which is why I think people get so up in arms when people say it's fake. It's like, yeah, it's predetermined. Yeah, they've thought everything out, but they're still in the ring and they still take bumps. They still take hits. They still break bones. They still tear muscles.
Sorry, Dory, go ahead.
Everybody I know who's not a wrestling fan who tells me, oh, it's just bull, I showed them Mick Foley Hell in a Cell match. He walked out of that 10 years shorter life because of that match. Tell me how that's fake.
Well,
yes.
I think when people say it's fake, because what they mean when they say it's fake is it's predetermined, just like Basement said. I think they know that if they get hit in the head with a steel chair, it's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah, and I just always basically tell somebody, I'm like, do you have any idea how much a simple suplex hurts? Because you're landing on fucking boards. That's boards. That's hard wood underneath that ring.
I wouldn't even say it's the way the moves hurt. It's the risk factor involved in taking certain moves, where you are putting your body at risk by doing it, which gives it some credence. I'm not saying it's real, because obviously we know it's booked, predetermined. Otherwise, you could never tell a story. Outside, then this is UFC. It can never tell a story in the ring, but they tell the story with the entertainment portion.
Yes, Heather.
And it's like, if people say, oh, it's fake, go and take a look at the Ciampa Gargano street fight, where they tear up the ring, and they show you there's an inch of foam, maybe 2 inches of foam covering the plywood.
It's an inch.
An inch of foam covering plywood.
You covered a piece of plywood with just an inch of foam, and then have somebody slam your entire body weight on top of that. Tell me that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, or even in that same match, I can't remember if it was the same match or if it was one of the other 3 matches that they fucking did. But at one point, they ripped up the mat on the floor, and one of them, I think it was Ciampa, took a straight suplex to the fucking concrete.
DDT,
thank you, to the concrete.
It's fake. The spots are real in terms of, it could or will hurt somebody, but they do it in a way where they know they're not trying to. But I mean, it's so frequent in how often they do it, and there's always a certain percentage of it that's risked. So if just look at it from that perspective. I mean,
and even with
fake is such a broad term.
Well, even with the DDT to the concrete, people are like, yeah, but they protected his head. Yeah, but do you have any idea how easy it is for an arm to shift with how sweaty they are?
Well, if you wanted wrestling,
anything like that can happen.
If you wanted wrestling where the DDT and the concrete is real, the match is ended, the guy's dead, and
exactly.
move forward.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, also,
Lucha Underground.
Go back and look at the match between Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle, where he went to suplex him through the glass, but it didn't break. You heard Shane's head hit the floor.
I just actually watched that the other day on the network.
I love that.
I mean, if we want to talk about botches, I got into an argument the other day over Mandy Rose, when Mandy Rose did that, whatever that finishing move is with Asuka, and she didn't get her up and then bring her down. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh well, and we're gonna get into that actually talk about that like right after Gina's thing with the intergender wrestling. We're gonna talk about intergender wrestling
That's
because
not my thing.
no, New Japan. I said after
Oh,
New
oh,
Japan.
okay, gotcha.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it was
So
it
you
was
said
confusing the way you
after
said it, but I
I
agree.
was like, intergender. You brought that up.
No, but how we always point out the women botching. We never point out the men. I said, all right, motherfucker. I'll point out every fucking botch that happens on fucking Tuesday night. And there was a couple. There was a few. But it's not as, and I hate to say this, it's not as noticeable. But I didn't mind the botch so much because, I mean, good God, how long were they in the ring for?
Right.
Mandy Rose is in the ring and she's probably tired. She couldn't get her up. That happens. Who cares? Move on.
No
Let
sex
go.
life.
Go ahead. We'll get into that intergender wrestling after. We're gonna turn it over to Gina because she's got some New Japan news.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so New Japan's stats. We'll start out with the stats first, okay? Okada is sitting at the top of the bracket. He has only lost one match so far. He is sitting with 14 points. 7-1 he is. Kenta, Archer, Fale, Sonata, Osprey, Evil, ZSJ, and Tanahashi are all out, which leaves on Saturday, I think it is, or Sunday, the 10th. Yeah, so Saturday. It'll be Okada versus Ibushi with a winner-take-all match for the G1 A block final. B block is a little bit more complicated right now. Ishii, Juice, Yano, Jeff Cobb, Shingo, and Taichi are all out. However, we've got Goto, Moxley, Jay White, and Naito all pretty much in the running for the B block winner. However, I know that what was it, JP? If Naito wins, then it knocks out Goto.
If Naito beats Goto.
No, is it Naito versus Goto? They're not wrestling each other.
Well, one of them two. Who's Naito wrestling?
Fuck, I just said it before too. I don't remember. I think Naito is going against Jay White.
Okay, if Naito beats Jay White and Moxley loses to Juice Robinson, Naito goes on to the G1 final.
Yeah.
If Goto beats who he beats,
yeah,
and Moxley,
which I think is
and
Shingo.
Moxley has to win this match. If he loses, he's not moving on. Either way, unless Goto and Naito lose. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's gonna be Goto or Naito. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be John Moxley.
No.
Please.
No, and Jay White is still in the running too, but Jay White is kind of like coming in last there on the train. So it would take basically all three of the other ones to lose their matches in order for Jay White to move on to be B block champion.
Right. If it's not gonna be Goto or Naito, it's gonna be fucking Okada, and he's gonna pick his opponent.
They're in different blocks.
No, winning it all. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Okada versus Ibushi is gonna be ridiculous.
Yes, it will be. And I know that there is. Go ahead, Gina. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there is one match, and it was a tweet out about it today. Will Ospreay versus Tanahashi.
Yeah, and I believe after that match, we're gonna see Tanahashi retire.
Yes, I think he might have one more match at Wrestle Kingdom, but then he'll go quietly into that good night.
Yeah, because I know Will Ospreay tweeted out today, about how he, Tanahashi has made, like, basically paved the path for the new guys, like the younger guys, and he basically asked Tanahashi, please let me take it from here, sir.
Let me pass. He's essentially asking him to
Passing the torch. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but like Juice Robinson versus Moxley is going to be ridiculous.
I think Moxley is going to lose that match.
I agree because Juice Robinson is still pissed from when he dropped the U.S. title to Moxley at I can't remember what was that one was at.
I don't remember.
I think it was at Dominion.
Dominion.
No, he wasn't at Dominion. Moxley
wasn't
wasn't.
it at Kazuna Road or something? I don't
Something like that. But he dropped the U.S. title to Moxley.
Mhm.
So Juice is still really pissed about that. So I have a feeling that Moxley's going to lose to Juice, which is going to take Moxley out of the tournament. But then I think, and JP and I were talking about this earlier, that it's going to lead to a match between Juice versus Moxley at the finals for G1 for the U.S. title, where Moxley's going to drop the U.S. title.
And then he'll go to AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
where we stand
prefer-
with New Japan right now.
Is there anything else, Gina?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay.
Before we move away from NJPW, what I would prefer to see, and whatever, I would say Okada wins it all and
Okay.
chooses Tanahashi, and their match at Wrestle Kingdom is his last match. That's what I would like to see, because he needs.
That could happen. I could see that happening. I really do.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to repeat, because it was Okada versus Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom this year.
But
they
out of
did it-
respect
you
for
gotta
him as a
remember,
wrestler,
Gina.
it's like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, all I was going to say was out of respect for him as a wrestler, and he's done so much for New Japan, and he's been there for so long, it's like you kind of want him to have like a swan song.
Yes. I see that, and that would be the passing of the torch. The real passing of the torch in my book. Because Okada is the future. I mean, Ospreay's there, but Okada's what, 30? I see him carrying the torch for the near future for a while.
What I would love to see is Okada win it, and then Tanahashi say after the G1, he's like, well, I'm announcing my retirement, I'm done, and then be called out to wrestle one last match.
Well, Okada, what happens when Okada wins, he chooses who he wants to face.
But Tanahashi, during the G1, can say, at any point in time in the next week or two or however long it is left, he can say, that's it. That's it for me. I'm done. I'm hanging it all up. And they'll do like a press conference or whatever with him saying that. And then Okada wins. And Okada's like, I know you hung it up, but I know you have one left in you or something along those lines. And ended at Wrestle Kingdom.
I can see that.
You know what, though? Like, I will have to say that one of the people that I'm probably most impressed with, not even just for the wrestling alone, but just for their overall attitude in the ring, is Will Ospreay. Because Will Ospreay he shows so much respect for his opponents.
He does.
And that's something that you don't really see so much of these days.
If Ospreay didn't have, like, I think the physical issues he has, that guy has the potential to be the best in the world.
I agree. He tries.
I mean, he's hurting real bad after this tournament. I mean,
he's always been hurting.
He needs some time away. I hate to say it. He just took some time away too.
Yeah, well, he had to. He was injured, but.
Right.
But I remember the guys from AEW, like Kenny Omega, saying, in being the elite, like the G1 is such a horrendous grind because you don't get really a break, and you're constantly going, and you're going hard, and it's just like it wears on anybody, and you see it wearing on a guy in his prime, it's going to wear on a guy that's past his prime.
Yep, agreed. Anybody else got anything they'd like to add?
Nope.
Okay. I want to make
sadly,
mention...
I have to hop off for the evening because I got to be up late. I got to be up early for work in the next morning. But I have to be up late, so fuck, I gotta go.
All right. Well, thanks for popping
Connor.
on. I was actually in.
Thanks, Connor. Have a good night.
I love you. I'll always love you.
Have a good night, Connor. You can catch him
Love you.
on his channel, OK Fig, and he's.
I thought you were about to say you can catch me on Fight.
Well, you can.
For now.
You can.
For now.
I don't know exactly where you go for that, so I know where Fight, but I don't know.
No, YouTube's better. Smart
YouTube's better. I could check him out. He puts out great content. He pretty much does the same thing we do. We're not stealing his shit. Just saying. Sorry.
It's not what you said behind the anyway. Okay.
I would steal your shit and hide it in my freezer.
It does freeze well. Anyway, good night, guys.
Night, man. Have a
Night.
good
Night,
night.
Tyler.
Um.
I'm actually gonna hop off too. I've been up since 5.
Okay.
All
Have a
right,
good
Joey.
night.
Tell the
Thanks,
Chechens
Joey.
I
Have a
love
good
them.
night.
Good night.
What?
Tell the
No.
Chechens I love them.
Tell the
Enjoy the
Chechens.
polka music.
Yep. Have a good night,
They're
Dory.
playing rock right now. Actually, it's not bad. So
Nice.
The bar's open till 4 a.m. So have
Oh
a good time.
yeah.
God.
Well, time for my AirPods.
Great.
All right. So we lost a legend last week in Harley Race. I know that Gina hasn't seen much of him. Trek,
Well, I haven't
know
seen
has.
much, but I know what he meant to the business, and like I've seen some of his stuff.
Basement actually watched Starcade 83 with me. If you have not seen that, go check out Starcade in a 6-pack.
It got wild towards the end.
Hey.
I'm not gonna lie.
But
Ric Flair move, drink.
Ric Flair moved drink. But
God.
Harley Race was Ric Flair before Ric Flair actually took off. Before he went on to win 16 world titles. Harley Race made stars. And I can't remember his quote that he said. The best place to be is in the lights on the map. I can't in the ring or whatever.
It's under the lights.
Okay.
In something.
But if you've never gotten to and the WWE network has great content, go watch Harley Race. You want to see a badass motherfucker who I think today could compete with anybody in the world if he was
Whoa.
their age. Yes.
I was just gonna say he's never mind.
In his prime, I guarantee it, he could compete with anybody. In his prime. That he could compete with Kenny Omega. He could compete with Okada. He could compete with easily Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. He could compete with anybody. You put him in the ring, and he'll work. He was one of the great heels. He was one of the great workers in the world. That's why he was an 8-time world champion.
Yes.
Anybody got anything they'd like to add about Harley Race before we get on the intergender wrestling?
He was Stone Cold before Stone Cold.
He was
that
Stone
tough.
Cold before Stone Cold was Stone Cold. Now,
He
I'm
was
pretty sure
everybody
that the
before
guy
everybody.
that we watched last night was Stone Cold before Stone Cold was Stone Cold.
Arn Anderson?
Yeah, there you go.
No. I like Arn Anderson, but no. Maybe promo wise, but
Voice.
Yeah, that like Stone Cold pretty
Harley?
much just like stole everything.
have you ever heard
From
Harley Race
Arn
talk?
Anderson.
Go listen to Harley Race talk. Sounds just like Stone Cold to me.
Really?
Oh yeah. He had the raspy voice. The deep
Well, it's
raspy
not
voice.
just the raspiness; it was just the way he was delivering everything. I'm like, why does it feel like I'm listening to Stone Cold right now?
Then Harley Race probably fits the bill even more. He did this exact same thing.
I'll have to go check him out.
Yeah, he was great. He was great.
Well, I know just like what he did for other wrestlers, and I always respect that. Like I always respect not only what they do with their own career, but what they do after their career ends and they're still around, because you have a lot of wrestlers that after their career ends, they're just like, okay, whatever, and they do their own thing. But then there's people like Harley Race that stick around in order to kind of teach these new generations. And Harley Race was teaching generations at well after he was done. I mean,
Yep.
he was still like when he would come around for alumni type stuff, whether it be Hall of Fame or whatever, he was constantly involved with the new talent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was a great guy. He played a great heel, but he was a great guy in general. He will be missed. I Loved his work. One of the great heels. One of the top 5 heels ever, in my opinion. As far as wrestling goes, top 10, top 20. Great guy. Let's get on to what we're going to do, the takeover predictions and the SummerSlam predictions, but there's a topic that I want to talk about. I got called a sexist for not liking intergender wrestling. And for all you fucking people out there, I am not a sexist. Here's why I don't like intergender wrestling. I'm going to get everybody's thoughts on this. Here's why I don't like intergender wrestling. What is it leading to? Where is the feud going to go? Is there going to be a championship match somewhere down the line for anybody involved in this shit? Look, here's my thing as well. For somebody to say that I don't think any of these women are tough, you're a fucking idiot. I think these women are even tougher than some of the men. That doesn't mean that they're... I can take a punch from a 300-pound guy. Does that mean I'm going to fucking beat the guy? No. It don't mean shit. That makes me tough, but that doesn't mean I'm going to beat the guy up. It makes no fucking sense. Now, that being said, Basement and I had talked about this, and I'm going to get everybody's thoughts. Suspension of belief. Could you believe if Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch had a match? Do you think Becky Lynch could beat Brock Lesnar?
No.
I'm asking.
No.
But you look at even a male wrestler of, say, Becky Lynch's stature. No. It's just stature. It's not what's between your legs.
And yeah, and I can agree with that too, because okay, look at the last AEW event, and we were all saying how we wish that they would get some bigger girls in there for Nyla Rose, because she has to wrestle so gingerly with the other girls because they're a lot smaller than what she is.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes off very choppy and not believable, and just overall a fucking hot mess.
She looks like a bubbling mess. She looks like she fumbles over herself.
Well, and for a fact that she's probably a really good wrestler. She just hasn't been able to show that, because she's wrestling these teeny tiny girls that she has to make sure that she's not hurting them.
Correct.
But as far as intergender wrestling, I agree with you with the believability factor, but I enjoy them. Let me rephrase this. I enjoy everything outside of WWE. I don't like WWE intergender matches just because I don't like it has to be girl on girl or boy on boy, and then all of a sudden the girl can smack the guy, but the guy can't do shit to the girl. I don't like that, because for me that's double standards in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I look at it okay, back when Candice LeRae used to wrestle with Joey Ryan.
Yep.
Candice LeRae kicked some fucking ass. Even though she was a chick, and she's a tiny chick, she kicked some guys' asses.
Okay.
And it was believable. Because she was fast.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. She's tough, but that doesn't mean she should win any of those matches.
No, it doesn't mean that she should automatically win. No, I'm just saying that she can keep up with them.
Like the Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard thing. Okay, I get it. Tessa Blanchard is tough. She did not win the match because she shouldn't have in the first place. Because it's Sami Callihan. If y'all know Sami Callihan, he's a fucking nutcase. Mm-hmm. He should not lose to a woman. Sorry, if that sounds sexist, I guess I'm sexist.
He starts us out saying I'm not sexist. Well, and now I guess.
Well, no, I guess I am, because I don't fucking believe that a woman can beat a guy in a wrestling ring that is fucking crazy. He shouldn't, and he shouldn't have. Even if Tessa Blanchard brought a bat, I do not care, because this guy incites violence.
Chaos.
He loves that shit. I've seen him take bats. He came from CZW. What does that tell you? This guy loves this shit. Yes, he come out and said, I respect her, but I knew she couldn't beat me.
You know what, though? One thing that I will say with Tessa Blanchard is, if anybody is going to wrestle a dude and going to be believable about it, it would be her.
Well, I But again,
There,
I still
there's
don't buy
others.
it.
I would believe Jazz over her.
I wouldn't even believe Jazz. Jordan Grace is the only
Yep.
one
Oh,
that I
Jordan
know of.
Grace, yeah.
The only
Well,
one that
Jordan
I know
Grace
of
at-
that could.
If you guys remember at All In, Jordan Grace, she hung pretty fucking good with all those guys in the freaking Battle Royal.
Again,
I'll say this about the whole thing, and we talked about this before, JP. Like, I honestly think when it comes to intergender wrestling, you said it's not going to lead anywhere. The only place it could lead to is if you're going to put a man and a woman versus a man and a woman. It could lead to a singles feud for the women and a singles feud for the men, and they could maybe be in each other's corner or something like that. But it can't really lead to. There's no intergender anything else after that. It's gonna become one gender match.
This is my issue though. Why does everything always have to lead to something? Because, okay, don't get me wrong. I understand having the storylines lead somewhere. We need that, okay? But we have like the main title matches that is designated for. Every once in a while, it's nice to just have a filler that is entertaining.
yeah,
And
but
I will say that
here's my thing though. People are like, well, we need to. I've heard this, and these people that I was arguing with about it, they are trying to. And you like what you want. I don't care. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not saying don't enjoy it.
But that's the great thing about wrestling in
Here-
general,
but-
because
but
some people like things and some people
They're
don't.
saying, well, it should. The show should revolve around the feud that these two are having. Why? Where is
Yeah.
it going? What is it going to lead to?
Well, and I think
That's
that
that's the issue that I
that's-
have.
That's one thing that WWE did right with the mixed match challenge. They didn't make it as part of a feud for anything. It was strictly all for charity.
yeah, and it was fun. Like that.
But
Like
that wasn't intergender wrestling.
But
In a way it was.
I
No, it wasn't.
enjoyed
not at its
it,
core,
though.
really.
Not at its core, but I still enjoyed it because it gave the men and the women a chance to wrestle together, but it gave them the wrestlers a chance to just wrestle for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that they were out there and they were having so much fun, especially the second one that they did. They were out there having so much fun. And every once in a while for me, it's good to see the wrestlers just kind of kicking back and enjoying what they're doing.
And I
actually
said
like-
this with JP. Sorry, Heather, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually like the first one because with Goldust and Mandy Rose versus
Oh, God.
Jimmy, I think it is, that's married to Naomi.
Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah.
and Naomi.
That I laughed my ass off with that one because at the very beginning of the match, Jimmy's flying all over the place. And Goldust ends up on a knee, and he sits there and goes, "Slow down! I'm old."
Yeah. Yeah, there was just really entertaining ones with both of them. It was
Well,
nice. Sorry.
Like, I mean, as far as it goes with like intergender wrestling, I'm like, and I even said this with JP when we were discussing. I'm okay with it in small doses, but I also watched Lucha Underground for the majority of it, where they kind of like did the man versus woman thing, and it does at a certain point they had Sexy Star was her name, beat some dude or
Mil
whatever. I
Muertes.
can't remember. Mil Muertes, which I'm sorry, but no, the suspension of disbelief was too much.
And
Yeah.
I think that is where the factor lies. Like when you have people like Tessa Blanchard or what is her name? JP Taya.
Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Taya
Taya
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. You know, like kind of women that are, or even like Jazzy Gabbert. You know, women that are not massive, but they're stacked. You know, and I can believe one of them or Jordan Grace or anybody of that stature. I can kind of believe them beating a man.
Can I ask you a question, Gina?
But-
how big do you think
yeah.
Tessa Blanchard is?
What?
How big do you think Tessa Blanchard is?
140 pounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 165.
I'm gonna say
Not
140.
even close. Not even close. She's only 126 pounds.
How the fuck is she smaller than I am when
She
she's
just-
stacked like a fucking brick house?
But how
She's
tall is she?
short. She's short.
Yeah, this is like I don't get that. I said the same thing when me and JP were talking. It's like I look at somebody like Rey Mysterio. If you put Rey Mysterio against, say, Braun Strowman, there's an obvious person that should win that, and it has more to do not only with the stature of the wrestler, but the impact of the wrestler's moves. I have a hard time believing Rey Mysterio can beat anybody
But
because his moves don't
yeah,
look like they hurt anybody
right now, basement.
ever.
Okay, but if you
ever,
see, I
he never had
disagree.
impactful moves.
I
Rey
disagree
Mysterio
with that.
never had impactful moves.
I disagree
his-
with that because
So his moveset changed from then
no,
to
no,
now?
no,
It's the
no.
same.
I'm just saying he's old now, so he can't deliver them as quite as well.
Well,
But
also,
when you look
Gina,
back at when
then he was facing guys the same size as him. Now
Exactly.
he's facing guys like fucking Brock Lesnar and
Yes.
Strowman.
and if you look back at like when Rey Mysterio won the championship,
It was
the
David
WWE
versus Goliath.
championship. Now, who was he wrestling for that? I can't
It was
remember.
a triple threat match.
All I'm
Orton
saying is
Angle.
like
Yes, so
his
that
moves
match-
have no impact, and you can't
But-
argue that that's never changed.
But at that point in time, he had the benefit of a triple threat match. So he was able to kind of sit back and let the other two beat the shit out of each other.
Correct.
And then he was really fucking fast at that, like back then. So back then it was kind of a little bit more believable when you added that factor of the triple threat into the mix. Now, if he would have gone one-on-one with, say, like Eddie Guerrero, then I would have believed it with him beating Eddie, just simply because Eddie wasn't all that much bigger than him, but Eddie was like way better than him.
But it's the impact of he never had a move that looked like it hurt anybody ever.
True. I can't.
And I
disagree
mean,
with
he's not the only wrestler. I'm just saying in general. Like if
Yeah.
you do not have impactful moves, you don't. It doesn't. I already have to suspend disbelief that you fucking throwing a guy around by your feet hurts
I
them.
feel like your disdain for Rey Mysterio is getting worse by the day.
It's not just him. It's just like imagine two guys double dropping each other. Nobody actually gets hurt, but then the other guy pins him and wins a championship.
I do have to say this about Rey Mysterio, though. I think it's getting time for him to hang it up because he can't. Rey Mysterio, his career has always been based on how fast he is and how fast he's able to deliver
He
his
is
moves.
slow. He is
When
And
you say
he's
hang
not-
it up, do you mean hang himself and let me watch?
No,
Oh my gosh.
Jesus fuck basement. No, but like he's not fast anymore. So his believability with his moveset is
Okay.
not there anymore. And not only that, but it pretty much looks like his entire body is fusing together.
But you have so say you put Braun Strowman, and I don't care if you're running circles around him, but if you can't actually do anything to hurt him, all you're doing is running circles.
True.
I just don't like I don't like his moveset, and on top of that, his stature doesn't help. He needs some moves that actually look like they impact somebody. All of his moves are momentum based, but it's like everybody just rolls through them. How are you on the ground after that? It doesn't
Well,
make any sense.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but all I'm saying was like when he was younger, it was a little bit more believable because he was able to deliver them really quick. So he was able to like surprise his opponent with them. Now it takes him fucking 50 years to get across the ring to deliver a 619.
I feel like with
Not
Rey
only that,
Mysterio's
but look at
moveset, the only way he
two
should ever
titles
pin
he's had.
somebody
He's had to
was
give them up
with a
because of
schoolboy.
injuries.
Sure.
What did Heather say?
I don't know.
The last two title reigns he's had recently, he's had to give up the titles because of an injury.
That's true.
Exactly. So I think it's as much as I actually really like Rey Mysterio, sorry basement, but I do. It's time for him to hang it up.
Well, I can't disagree.
Booyaka, booyaka.
But so anyway, back on just to finish up, touch up the topic.
All right, stature is more important than gender. Unfortunately, statures don't match up. I'm okay if, say, Jordan Grace went against somebody that was relatively the same size, even up 25, 30 pounds, lower
Yeah,
25,
but,
30
like,
pounds. That's okay.
With Jordan Grace, she's seriously like 5'2". So even if she goes up against somebody that's relatively the same weight of her, she's still going to be outnumbered in like height.
That's okay.
How is that okay for her, but not Rey
Leverage.
Mysterio? Oh my god!
Rey Mysterio's moves don't hurt anybody. he couldn't even hurt a piece of paper. Okay, he should lose against everybody. Sasha Banks should beat him.
Look, I don't hate intergender wrestling. I don't like it for the simple fact that today's wrestling, the only one that I could see probably could hurt anybody, Jazzy Gabbert's another one. Nia Jax, even though she can't jump 2 inches off the fucking ground. And even if she did have workable fucking knees, I still don't think she could jump 2 inches off the ground.
China, for instance, there's a good one.
Karma?
Yes.
China.
In her prime.
China could, but then China
Beth
was
Phoenix.
China was only 165 pounds. She wasn't.
Yeah, but I could see a 165-pound person beat a 200-pound dude.
She looked bigger
Well,
than,
and
that's the thing. This is the thing with Tessa Blanchard. She's short enough to where she looks bigger than she really is.
But I think with
she has
China,
tree trunks for legs. She works her fucking legs. I'm not saying that Tessa Blanchard isn't tough. I just don't believe that she's gonna beat.
I will say to you, like, somebody with the low center of gravity, short and strong, will always beat somebody that's taller and does not have that. Low center of gravity is where strength is, in all honesty.
I will say this with China, like, China had the benefit of when she was wrestling, a lot of the wrestlers weren't as big as they are today. Like, there was a lot of more smaller wrestlers, so she was able to kind of toss them around or whatnot or whatever. But if she were to go up against, like, say, Braun Strowman, there would be no chance.
But I look at this argument as, like, where do you draw the line? Because would anybody want to see Roman Reigns versus Becky Lynch?
No.
If it was an intergender tag match, I could fathom it. But, like, otherwise, I don't want to see it.
In my defense, I really don't want to see Becky Lynch versus anybody at this point.
Exactly.
I don't either.
Becky Lynch versus a wood chipper.
Which, like, that
shit.
actually really, really hurts me to say, because I used to be a huge
Same.
Becky Lynch fan.
I agree.
You know,
I agree,
but, like, they've Roman Reigns'd her.
Well, they stuck her in a character she can't pull off, which is exactly that. They've Roman Reigns'd her.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that she can't pull off the character, because she was actually the one that initially started the character. It's just now they're not letting her, they're Roman Reignsing her. They're not letting her be herself in that character. So they're giving her scripts that don't sound like her.
She's too
and it's
awkward to be a badass.
Her. Exactly. I think she can pull off the badassery, because when she first started, that was her. Like, that.
But you have to keep the
was her.
awkwardness that was always Becky Lynch. She has this awkward sense of humor.
She herself on Twitter, when she was back in that steampunk phase, said she was the queen of puns.
Whatever.
Exactly. You know, so, like, when she first started this thing, it wasn't so much of, like, a badassery, more or less. It was more, I'm going to say sarcasm.
She's got, like, dad jokes.
Yeah, well, she's very, very sarcastic and stuff. So, I think that they tried too much to, like, stone cold her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine
turn her
Stone
into
Cold
this-
that told dad jokes. Would that work?
Yeah, exactly. But, like, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to put a character on her that is so much unlike her actual character. Now, if they would let her be herself, then I think that she could turn into that badass that they wanted.
I think she can 50% pull off the character she is today, where she could almost 100% pull off the character she was when she was originally transitioning to this.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to add to this topic?
No, because I'm pretty sure we've steered the topic like 15 different
No,
directions.
it's fine. I mean, it's still on topic, but
I think the only way you could pull off intergender wrestling today is if you had women of stature like China again.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree. I mean, you have a lot of small wrestlers, too, that are male, and that can work. Like
I
Drake
just think-
Maverick versus fucking
Carmella.
Jordan Grace.
You know,
That would be
well,
fucking
I
hilarious
would,
to
I, like,
watch.
okay, let's just get something straight here. I think that Carmella could kick Drake Maverick's ass, okay? But
I know.
I know,
don't
that's not
think she
possible.
could. No.
I don't think Carmella could
in
actually fight anybody and
in
win.
the pansy ass character he is now, yeah. But
If you actually, Jenny, if you go and look on 205 Live with what he does as the general manager, he's completely different than what he is
Yeah.
in Raw.
Yeah, I know.
He actually is not a bad in-ring performer.
He's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I went and watched some of his stuff, and he was pretty good. Does anybody know why he stopped being an in-ring
WWE
performer?
made him, essentially.
I don't
They-
know.
I think they're trying, because Vince is that guy, he loves those Sid Vicious type guys with wrestling. You know, they gotta be 6'5" or taller, and like over 300 pounds, and chisel.
Like Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
I swear to Christ that Vince is like secretly bisexual, and he just fantasizes about these big burly men.
Well, just remember the Kiss My Ass Club, the very first one he did with Jim Ross.
Oh my
Flexing his
God.
ass cheeks like that.
That's true.
So that being
I
said,
tried to forget about that. God damn you.
so that being
Sweet
said,
dreams.
so that being said, let's start the predictions. NXT Takeover Toronto.
All right, who's keeping track? Because I
I
know
got
I'm going
it,
to win
I
them
got
all, bitch.
I got it. There's 5 matches, 2 women's matches in this, a triple threat match, a tag team match, and a 2 out of 3 falls match.
But wait, are we doing prediction where the loser has to do something like eat 2 tacos that never happened?
Jesus fucking Christ. I will fucking do it, you asshole. You know what? Fuck it. SummerSlam. I'm doing it SummerSlam because I don't work the next fucking day.
Okay, so we can anticipate JP's stomach killing him. Let's do this at the end of the show, okay?
No, I'm gonna do it before the show. I'll be all right. I'll manage it. I'll just be gagging for
In
like the
pain.
first 45 minutes. I'll be fine. I'll get over it. We'll revolve that around the show. So I'm eating tacos Sunday. Count it. Mark it. Jesus fucking Christ. The first match on the card is Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai.
I'm going Io.
Gina?
I think I'm gonna go Io as well. I think that they need to mark her as a heel. Like, I mean,
Well, they've already
she
done that
needs
with
that
her change, which is fucking fantastic.
yeah, I like the change, but I think that she needs that definitive heel marker where it's gonna be like that cements her as the heel character. So I think she's gonna pull this one off.
Okay. Basement?
Io.
Io, uh-oh.
I'm not even gonna ask
What's
Bob
poppin'
it.
tonight?
Trek?
I think it's gonna be Io Shirai.
Bobbit? Bobbit!
I gotta go with my baby mama Io.
You don't have a kid with her. You'll be alright in the morning, though.
What about you?
Io Shirai. If they have her lose to Candice LeRae, why the fuck did they turn her heel? That
Yep,
makes
dead
no
in the water
fucking
if she loses. Unless there's interference or something. What happens if there's interference and nobody like a DQ or whatever?
It just becomes a DQ, depending on who the DQ is, or no contest. If it's a no contest or a double count out or whatever, just you get a half a point.
All right.
Next match, the Undisputed Era versus Street Profits for the tag team titles. Gina, what says you?
Who was it?
Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era.
Undisputed. Did we get Trek's vote for the first? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said
you
Io.
did. Heather?
I'm gonna go Undisputed Era.
Trek?
Yeah, it's Undisputed Era all the way.
Bobbit?
I'm going Street Profits.
It's a mistake. Basement?
I was gonna go with Street Profits, but then you said it was a mistake, so I'm gonna go with Street Profits all the way.
I'm going with Undisputed. It's a mistake. I'm gonna go with. Look, I hate the Street Profits. I cannot stand them, and no, it's not because they're black. I
But
just
they're gonna
don't
be they're featured on Raw all the time. I mean, they want to keep that stupid shit up.
They can stop doing that stupid shit. I'm going with the Undisputed Era.
Going with the Dixie Cup and a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Trek, you said Undisputed, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next match is the NXT North American Championship. Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong for the North American title.
Roderick Strong.
Basement?
Oh, super difficult. I'm gonna go with. I want to go with Strong. I feel like I should go with Strong, but instead I'm going with Dunne.
Oh, God. That's a mistake.
Your mistake.
Bobbitt?
Strong.
Gina?
I am going with Basement, and I'm going
Yes.
with Dunne. I think that there's a reason why they brought Pete Dunne over here.
Become a fucking jobber. That's what they should
No,
do with
become
him.
a champion.
No,
Why do you
he
hate him
does
so
not.
How do
much?
you?
He's got
Why do you?
heel
How do you
face.
possibly
He's-
fucking hate Pete Dunne?
He's fucking boring. I cannot
He is
stand
not
him.
boring.
I
You just don't
disagree.
like British strong style.
No, I don't. I don't like any
Don't.
of it. It's boring.
He is not boring.
He's
Like
boring.
him
But
also,
versus
he's like the
Tyler Bate
least-
was one of the best wrestling matches
Boring.
of all time.
Boring.
He has British strong style, but he's also like an actual he actually has WWE wrestling moves.
He's boring. Trek.
You're ridiculous.
It's gonna be Roderick Strong.
I'm going with Roderick Strong because I think they're all going to hold the titles at the end of the night for some ungodly
Yep.
reason.
Yep. Well,
Mhm.
Oh, you're changing your
that's
mind.
bad
from your
move.
original
Bad
pick?
move.
Well, they aren't
Wrong
doing it.
Wrong choice.
Well, you know what? Like I was gonna say Strong for the same reason, but I have a feeling that there's a reason why they brought Pete Dunne over. So
Well,
Wrong.
fuck Pete
No,
Dunne.
you're right. Me and you.
The
And
next
Bob.
match.
No.
The next match is Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim.
Yim.
She better fucking win. They build her up the way they have and then have her fucking lose. Stupid.
yeah, I'm going Yim.
Trek.
Yeah, it's me. They built her up to be the badass, and I think that way they could get the title off Baszler and bring her up to the main roster.
And not only that, but the way that they built Mia up is she took out Baszler's fucking little goons, so those goons won't be there.
That's true. Basement.
Yim.
And Bobbitt.
Yim.
And the main event.
Heather, you said Yim too, right?
Yes, she
I
did.
did.
She did.
Everybody's Yim. All
And the
right.
main event, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls. Adam Cole's match, just a regular match. Gargano's match is a street fight. Third fall, if it goes to that,
Will be William Regal's choice.
William Regal gets to pick.
Um,
Gina.
Oh, of course you're gonna pick me first for this one. Does anybody happen to know exactly how long it's projected for Ciampa to be gone?
What'd she say?
No.
How long is Ciampa supposed to be out for?
Who cares?
They said, last I heard,
Me?
they said it could have been up. It could be up to a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only been like 4
Um,
months, I think.
Well, I'm gonna go with Cole. Just because I don't see them taking it off of him. But the only reason why I ask about Ciampa is because I could see one of two things happening if Ciampa's coming back soon, which would be Gargano winning and then going against Ciampa again, or I could see Ciampa coming back and taking on Adam Cole in order to avenge Johnny Gargano.
Okay. Basement.
I am gonna go with Johnny G Spot because Ciampa's the Ciampa's here. Because the Ciampa will interfere, at least in the street fight. I feel like it's going to happen.
Okay.
Well, and that would make sense for him to interfere because if you know damn well that Undisputed's going to interfere, so
Ciampa's going to make Gargano win so that he can face Gargano, and that feud will finally end.
Not only that, JP, but like a couple of weeks ago on NXT, wasn't there somebody that came out to aid him?
Mm-mm. No.
I thought there was somebody that came out to aid Gargano in a match because Undisputed came out.
No, there was the one. It was the one guy at the gym where he put he said, "Here's the title that I said I'd bring back," and he brought it back, and that was the guy. Adam Cole was going to challenge him for the title, and Gargano came out and.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to be the one facing you. This guy is, and it was Gargano when he came out, and him and Adam Cole fought all over the arena.
Yeah, but I was thinking that Gargano was in a match. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Never mind.
That's all right. It's all right. Heather.
Yeah, just even Sports Illustrated saying that there's no timetable for Ciampa's return, so.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
I'm gonna go with Cole.
Okay.
Baby.
Bobbit?
I'm going on Adam Cole.
Baby.
Trek.
Yeah, it's Adam Cole, but I would hang out during the end of the show because I think they'll reveal his next opponent.
Hey, so that being said, Trek, myself, Heather, Bobbit. No,
Everybody but Basement.
No.
But hear me out.
Bobbit, who did you said Street Profits winning, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I those people besides Bobbit, all thinking the Undisputed Era is walking out with every single title.
No, hear me out. I think the Undisputed Era is going to get called up in the draft. I think that's actually going to happen. And I feel like that's why they're not going to win any match. But I also feel like Ciampa could come out. He might not be cleared to wrestle, but he could come out and just attack somebody with a chair, crutch, whatever.
Or even just a distraction.
Yeah,
and not ever take a move. And the match will be made for next takeover. By that time, they're thinking he's going to be ready, especially if he's made the progress that he's been said to make the progress of. So, my thinking is I do not think Undisputed Era is going to stay in NXT.
I don't want to fucking see Ciampa and fucking Gargano again.
It's going to happen. It has to happen.
No, it don't. It don't have to.
It does. Give it to me. I want it.
But hold on. But Basement, you also have to remember that right before Ciampa injured his neck, him and Gargano had gotten called up already. The only reason Gargano is back down in NXT is because they wanted him and Ciampa up on the main card together.
But this is why I'm saying, like, Ciampa will come out and he will help Gargano win. And the match will be made at the next takeover out of, like, respect. It'll be a final match made out of respect to basically, at this point, faces fighting each other.
We'll see. I hope that don't happen, but that's just me. Just saying. I'm just saying. So
you know what's going to happen.
That is NXT.
Otherwise, Gargano would be on the main roster right now.
Yeah, they don't want him without Ciampa on the main card.
They need something for the tag team division on the main roster.
Yeah, and they'll go to a no. This is my prediction. Okay, Gargano and Ciampa will go to a no decision. They'll shake hands and they'll go as a tag team.
But
and
if you remember,
that's my dream.
But if you remember, Basement, that doesn't even make sense because if you remember, hold on, if you remember, right after Ciampa got injured, right after he had his surgery, he came back to NXT for one night and he made up with Gargano. Remember?
How does what I'm saying not make sense then to that?
Because, well, I mean, the ending makes sense, but why would they fight again if they've already made up? Why wouldn't they just call them up to the main card right away?
Two of the top NXT talents going at each other one last time. It's going to be one last time. I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, whatever. That being said, here is the SummerSlam card, and then we will get out of here. And, well, we won't get out of here. We will do the wrestling thing that Bobbit has. First match, WWE Cruiserweight Drew Gulak versus Oni Lorcan. Oni Lorcan.
The finger of doom.
I'm going with Drew Gulak.
I'm going Gulak.
Yeah, they only just put the title on him, so they're gonna keep it on him a little longer.
Basement?
I feel like the title is going to disappear or just be absorbed by Raw. I'm going to go with Gulak as well.
Bobbit?
I don't care. Fuck Gulak.
Almost with Thornton.
You said Gulak?
Yeah.
Trek?
Yeah.
I'm going with
That title's
Gulak.
dead to me.
What?
Yeah, I'm going with Gulak.
Gulak.
The next
Everybody's
match.
going Gulak.
Finn Balor versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
The
You don't want
Fiend.
to know what? I don't care about this fucking match.
Is this on the pre-show?
No, it's just I'm
It's
just
just
doing
how
it
they
in
have
order.
it ordered.
If it is, then I don't care.
Yeah, I'm going Wyatt.
I agree. And the reason I say that is this will write Finn Balor off TV for a little bit so they
So
can
he can
build
go
him
get
back
married.
up. No, well, not
And-
only that, but it gets him away from TV and then he'll come back, hopefully, to feud with the Fiend as a demon like they were going to do somewhere down the line.
Well, not only that, but I feel like they need Bray Wyatt to win right now.
Well, they need Bray Wyatt to destroy everybody he fucking faces.
That's what I'm saying. Like they
Otherwise,
need to
dead.
cement him as that heel character. Like if he's gonna be this big scary heel guy, then he needs to fucking just
If
destroy.
he doesn't beat
his
everybody,
opponent.
he's dead in the water. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now.
They spent so much money on him with the Firefly Funhouse segments that, and this mask that he's wearing, that if he doesn't win, and they flush him down the drain like that, that's wasted money.
Yeah.
They did it time and time again with him, so we'll see. But it's got to be Bray, right?
Yeah, I agree. It can't be anybody but Bobbit.
Fiend. I don't fucking care.
What's your problem?
I don't care about this match.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Trek.
Acceptable, even though you said it once.
Trek.
It's the Fiend. They made all this time. They used all this time to build him up and build him up, build him up. They're not just going to tear it down with one match. He's going to go over.
Okay, thanks for that analogy, basement.
Mhm.
The next match is the United States Champion AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Heather?
AJ Styles needs to hold on to it, otherwise they're going to be hot potatoing that title, and it's just going to ruin the legacy.
I don't think that Ricochet should be
It's
a
too soon.
champion right now. That's just me, though. Not saying he won't be in the future, but right now, no. They put it on him too soon.
I feel like they're kind of doing this almost like David versus Goliath type thing with Ricochet versus AJ Styles, because AJ Styles is like the best wrestler in WWE,
but my
right?
question,
So like,
but my question is who is David and who's Goliath? Because Ricochet's been beating the shit out of fucking
I feel like it's David versus David.
yeah.
right, but the reason why I say David versus Goliath, because like Styles is pretty much like the Goliath of wrestling. I mean, he's the phenomenal one, you know? So like everybody is thinking that he is going to win and he's going to hang on to this, but I think that Ricochet is actually going to get his title back.
Why?
Alright.
Why do people think? Why do they people? I'm not saying that.
It's not really hot potatoing if you think about it, because Ricochet had the title right before him. So
that is,
no, I mean, he had the title right before.
That's the definition of hot potatoing.
Yeah, I understand that, but
here's my thing, and I get what you're saying.
Titles get hot potatoed all the time.
Here's my thing. Why did they put it on fucking AJ Styles if they're just gonna put it right back on fucking Ricochet? It makes no sense. I mean, I get what you're saying.
With that. I personally would rather have AJ Styles hang on to it, because I feel like the club needs this. Like, if they're going to build up, if they're going to build up the club or the OC, if they're going to build them up the way that they properly should be built up, then Styles needs to hang on to it. I just have a feeling with WWE doing what they do that Ricochet is going to get the title.
Okay.
Because he's the good guy. I just have a feeling that it's going to happen.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, because like I said, I want Styles to hang on to it.
Basement?
With the draft impending after SummerSlam, I'm going with AJ. It just makes sense as a title holder for him to be coveted and drafted early.
Right. Bobbit?
Oh, AJ Styles.
Do you care about this match?
A little bit.
Trek?
I think it's going to be Ricochet so they can keep it going.
Keep the feud going. You're one of those
fucking
people.
The feud is dead after this, I'm telling you right now. Because Ricochet is going to be on a different promotion than AJ.
So stupid. Anyway.
I'm not stupid.
I did say you were stupid. Trek's explanation was stupid. It's going to be AJ Styles. I mean, why would they take the title off of Ricochet to put it on Styles, just to put it back on Ricochet just a couple of weeks later? I don't.
Because it's WWE.
But I also feel like the title staying on AJ Styles makes the title mean more. You move it to Ricochet, the title it means a bit less because it doesn't have the prestige of somebody that's defended it. And with the draft upcoming, then it's it has not as much impact.
Let's get real, basements. Since when has the U.S. title actually had any kind of prestige behind it whatsoever? It's been years since the U.S. title has meant something.
Well, I mean, I feel like just because of the draft upcoming, they have to have some sort of relevance of the title meaning something.
Right, and Ricochet has relevance, first of all. And second of all,
should not own the championship at all.
Hold on. I don't know what's going to happen with AJ Styles and the club, because if the draft is coming up, I don't know if the club is going to be drafted altogether.
Well, if they're not, then you know what?
Not watching them together
ever
again.
Well,
and here's the thing: like, I feel that if the club is going to become the actual club, which is including the original form or the original dude in it, Finn Balor, I feel that AJ Styles should drop the title. Hear me out. Finn Balor should lose his match. They should bring them all together, and that's when they start becoming the dominant team, when they start winning title after title after title.
Why would you have him drop the title to become the dominant team?
Because if you have AJ Styles keep the title, and then you bring Finn Balor in without a title, then they're not gonna be on the same equal level playing field.
And they should not be.
But if anything, I feel like Finn Balor should be the one with the fucking title, because Finn Balor was the former of the group. Like, he was the reason why Bullet Club existed in the first place.
If Finn Balor owns a title and AJ Styles does not, the club should eat my ass.
And this is exactly why I say that they should start out on equal playing field, because I feel the same way. Like, I understand what you're saying and I agree with it, but I feel the same with Finn Balor. If AJ Styles has a title, then I think that Finn Balor should have a title too.
But then you're looking at the club being pushed to the place where AJ Styles is world champion, Finn Balor is Intercontinental or US. And
then Gallo and Anderson is tag team champions.
I'm going to say AJ retains just because AJ, I mean, come on. He needs, you need to have a representative of that mid card that can do it all. Like you basically put him in the mid card now, make him be the mid card. Ricochet just does not have the voice to be a mid card champion.
I just don't like his baby voice. Anyways, let's move on.
I just don't like his, like he was brought up too soon.
I don't think he was brought up too soon. I just think he was put in the spotlight too soon.
Yeah, I agree with that then. I accept that.
I can agree
Anyways,
with that
continue.
as well. The next match. Basement. This is the match of the night. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my God, kill me.
you know the locker is gonna win. I know it's the wrong move, but Goldberg's gonna win, obviously.
Bobbit.
Gilbert. Okay, Goldberg.
Trek.
Goldberg.
Gina.
This is one of those matches that I don't fucking care about, not only because it has Goldberg in it, but because I know who's going to win. Because the only reason why Goldberg's coming back to fight at SummerSlam is because of his fucking concussed ass performance against The Undertaker. So it's going to be Goldberg.
Heather.
Maybe Goldberg. Restore his legacy, even though it's lost away
Restore
a long
his
time
legacy.
ago.
His legacy.
His legacy died with his fucking
his
brain.
legacy died the first time he stepped in the fucking ring. Fucking Goldberg, man. I mean, this is how I see this match going. Goldberg's gonna come in. Dolph Ziggler's gonna attempt a super kick or that fucking whatever. He's gonna duck it. It's gonna be a fucking spear, jackhammer, match over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like a 2-minute match. He's gonna hit the spear immediately.
Me personally, if I was to book this match, Ziggler's winning, and the main reason is because this is a huge building block for Ziggler, who is going to be featured weekly, versus a guy that's never going to be featured at all. And if Goldberg gets put off by Ziggler, and it's not done in like some screwy way, even if it is done in a bit of screwy way, it gives so much more to Ziggler, and he desperately needs it, because for me, Ziggler, I would be okay with him being sent to the moon and dying.
Well, you know what, though? I agree with you, because, like, for me, if Goldberg wins this match, which we all know is going to happen, if he wins this match, that just kind of solidifies for me that he really doesn't give a shit about the younger talent. He just cares about his own legacy.
Well, I think they're booking this in a way where it's going to be like a big FU to the bad guy. It's WWE booking it, writing it. It's not Ziggler, Goldberg.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I take it as a slap in the face, because like even the Undertaker fucking is lost to the younger talent, you know.
Well, the problem is they build heels terribly. And this is a good instance of them the chance to build a really credible heel, and they're not going to take it. I know they won't, because the most important thing to WWE is making sure the old guys are the main stars for some reason.
I know, right? I know. It's sad, but it's going to be Goldberg, and then I hope he never gets in the fucking ring again.
Agreed.
Let's see if he even makes it to the ring this time.
It doesn't take him 25 hours to get to the fucking ring.
I must go check on my family that lives in a different state.
No, I'm sure the entrance to the ring is this way.
The next match has another match that this is the opposite of
good.
No. What we were just talking about should happen with Dolph and Goldberg is Trish and Charlotte. There is no fucking way Trish should beat Charlotte.
Nope, and I agree with you 100%.
This is a torch passing match. Bottom line, take it, serve it. I do not fucking want this fucking feud or whatever the fuck it is. And I've seen this. I had an argument with somebody about this on fucking Twitter. These fucking fangirls and fanboys. Oh, I think Trish should win just so they can extend the feud. Trish can't fucking wrestle anymore. She's fucking 43 years old. The last time she wrestled was at Evolution, and she didn't even, didn't even look good then. What makes you think
even in Trish's prime, Trish's prime versus Charlotte's winning.
Charlotte's winning. Trish is here. Charlotte is way the fuck up here. There is no... Trish couldn't even beat fucking Bayley. I like Trish. I think she has a great character, but in no way, shape, or form can she beat anybody.
In my honest opinion, wrestling
on the
in
roster
ring,
today.
Trish does not hold a candle to Charlotte.
No, it doesn't hold a candle to 90% of the roster.
I agree.
Sorry. I like Trish. I like her character. She was good for what she did back in the day, but this is not 1995 or 2002 or whatever the fuck it was.
They're going to do this nostalgia act properly because they're going to fuck up the one right before it.
Yep. So Charlotte, in fact, this match should not last any more than 3 minutes. But it will, just because it's Trish Stratus. So, I already gave mine. It's going to be Charlotte. I'm not even going to have the discussion. Bobbit?
I'm going Charlotte.
Trek?
Yeah, Charlotte.
Gina?
Charlotte.
Heather?
We need to ask
Charlotte. And I'm not a Charlotte mark. I think Charlotte's the best women's wrestler in the business today. However, I think she has been overpushed, yes, but deservedly so. Basement.
And it's not just because she's a Flair, you know.
No, she's good.
She's really good.
Charlotte, in my honest opinion, is probably the best woman wrestler on the roster. The total package is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Basement, you're going Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Charlotte.
You've had these people say the only reason Charlotte's being pushed is because of her fucking looks. You know what? You need to stop fucking watching wrestling if that's what you think. If you're not watching Charlotte wrestle, she makes everybody better. I have yet to see her have a very bad match. She is consistent. Who she had a bad match against?
No, I agree. Like, she hasn't really had any bad matches. And not only is she a great wrestler who can make herself and other people look good, but she has an awesome pair of tits.
She does. They might be bought, but good God.
I mean, that's money well spent.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Rob fucking I'm gonna say.
She definitely not getting the fucking push. I mean, fucking look at Andrade. Andrade's not getting a push, and you see that shit. Fucking people need to shut up about that fucking.
He might have a great set of balls, but he's not being pushed. Did everybody say Charlotte? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody went with Charlotte. The next match is Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon.
Oh, this better be Kevin Owens.
Trek?
Owens. He just signed a new contract anyway.
Well, thanks for ruining it for everybody.
Thanks, Trek.
Asshole.
I don't know.
But it's the
understand why
stipulation
Kevin-
he quits WWE or he quits
Yes,
SmackDown.
if he loses, he
quits
has to
WWE.
leave WWE.
Oh, this is an I Quit match. Okay, now I understand your comment to Trek. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go Owens anyway.
Well,
just
I know
because,
you were.
just simply because it's fucking Kevin Owens, and not only that, it's Canada.
No, who cares?
Yep.
Fucking Canada or fucking Zimbabwe.
You know what? And that's why, like, this last match, Charlotte should definitely be the winner, but I could definitely see them pushing Trish through just because it is supposed to be her last match and it's Canada.
Yeah, but you
For
know
what?
WWE.
For what? If it's her last match, she should be losing.
Well,
Yes.
but not only that, Trish has always been really Trish was the Charlotte Flair before Charlotte Flair came, except not as
Nope.
good. Because she was always really good at pushing other talent along with herself.
Trish Stratus, in my honest opinion, is a lot of. I honestly think she's just overhyped.
And that's coming from a Canadian. Talking about another Canadian.
Blame
like
Canada.
No, but like the bottom line is like she was okay in the ring. All these people are saying, "Oh, she's the best ever." Really,
That's
she's
it.
Rey Mysterio in
Yeah,
the ring.
they're
Wait, first of all, Trish Stratus just happened to come along at a good time where like the 90s was all about blonde hair and big boobs.
well, it's still about blonde hair and big
Yeah.
boobs. You haven't heard?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, look, who has the titles? I don't see blonde hair and blue tits.
Yeah, blue tits. She knows.
I don't see
Avatar?
blonde hair and big tits on fucking Bailey, nor do I see it on Becky Lynch.
Bailey's got a
Exactly.
face that looks like the sole of a foot, but her ass is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm.
So
But the whole thing is with Bailey, she covers that 2 to 5-year-old demographic.
I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Also, she's sponsored by
And
Shoals.
no, Kevin Owens doesn't need to ask for fucking permission to use a fucking stunner, you idiots. Heather?
Yeah, it's super dumb.
There's gonna be some fuckery though, I can tell you that
Oh,
much.
absolutely, Elias
But-
is gonna come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, Elias is gonna come out and then something's gonna happen. KO's gonna end up winning somehow.
Yep, I agree.
Basement, KO,
Mm-hmm.
and Bobbitt.
Kevin Owens.
Sounds good. The next match, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Ember Moon. I'm going with Ember Moon. The reason I'm going with Ember Moon is I think this is where Sasha
Fucks everybody over.
fucks everybody over. I think she's gonna screw over Bayley. So,
See,
Heather?
I don't think she's necessarily going to screw over Bailey, but I think that I do think Ember Moon's gonna win. But I think that after Ember Moon wins, that's when you're gonna see Sasha. But I actually see Sasha coming out with Becky Lynch's match more than with Bailey's.
Okay. That's going to be the swerve of the night. Everybody's expecting Becky to get the interference from Sasha. I see it
Mm-hmm.
being Bailey. And then you're going to finally get that fucking feud between Bailey and fucking Sasha. They went about it the wrong fucking way, but whatever.
I don't want to see it.
I
They
don't
fucked it
give
up
a shit.
so badly the first time.
Well, no shit. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's what they're going to do. Deal with it. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Ember Moon.
Moon.
Basement?
Good talk, Basement.
I'm gonna go with Ember Moon.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Bobbitt?
Amber Poon.
Ember Poon. Trek?
Yeah, I'm going with Ember Moon.
You know what? I'm gonna change my pick, and I'm gonna go Bailey.
Whatever. It's fine. Be angry, I don't care.
No, I know.
No, the
nobody
only
from
reason I
there.
want to change my pick is just because I'm thinking about what you said, and if that's the case, then I could see Sasha Banks feuding with Bailey for the title, and if that's the case, then Bailey has to have the title.
Well, Ember Moon can still win. He can win on
Yeah,
DQ.
but everybody else picked Ember Moon, so I'm just gonna pick Bailey just to.
And Bailey and Sasha could still have a feud. It doesn't need a title.
No. It don't.
We're
But-
talking about Sasha Banks here. She needs a fucking title.
No, she don't. I think WWE is gonna punish her for a little bit. But anyway, that's just
I
me.
hope so.
The next
So,
match. Yes. What, Bob?
Just now on Twitter,
Yeah.
I hope this is the main event of WrestleMania, Gilbert just called out Goldberg. He said, "Wrestle me, you chicken shit." I want to see Gilbert and Goldberg. Holy shit, that'd be so fucking awesome.
Does somebody want to hang the fuck up on Bobbit?
I'd rather shoot myself in the head.
Yeah, I would rather have somebody like slowly put needles through both of my eyeballs.
I'd rather have somebody shove a fucking vacuum hose up my ass and turn it on.
I mean,
I want it to be the main event of WrestleMania.
It's not gonna happen. Stop.
No, that's never gonna be main event.
It's never gonna happen.
Oh my god. Next pick.
It should.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't. It should never happen.
It's not going to.
It
Gilbert's got to be like 50. If Gilbert comes out looking like Goldberg, then no, even then.
The next match, RKO, Randy Kevin Orton, I think that's his middle name, versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE title. I've got Randy winning. I think Randy Orton's gonna win. But you get the fucking title off of Kofi Kingston. I'm sorry. He's boring the fuck out of me. Bobbit?
I'm going with Randy.
Trek?
I'm going with Kofi.
You would, you weirdo. Gina?
Fuck, can you move on from me? I gotta think about this.
Okay, Heather?
I'll go Randy.
Basement?
I'm going Kofi Pancakes.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's my answer.
I just fuck. I have a feeling that they're gonna go Kofi with this one, just because of the story that they've been telling about how Randy Orton, beat him how many years ago or whatever. But I think that they're gonna go Kofi with this one, but he's gonna drop it at the next pay-per-view.
So they're gonna extend the feud somehow, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think not even necessarily extend it with Randy. It's just I think that whoever his next opponent after Randy is, that's who he's going to drop it to.
Who is left?
That's true. I mean, then they're going to extend it because I see Kofi taking this one just because of the fact that Randy beat his ass way back in the day. So they're not going to.
All the more reason to take it off of Kofi Kingston.
No, I'm waiting for that New Day feud. I'm waiting for that New Day feud. It's got to happen. Otherwise, just kill me.
Well, I mean, I agree with you that it should happen, but I think that I don't think they're going to pull the trigger quite yet on it. I think they're going to extend it a little bit.
Okay. Final two matches. Two of the most cringeworthy fucking feuds that I don't even fucking want to talk about these two fucking people. Well, these four people. Raw Women's title, Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a submission match.
Becky Lynch.
I agree. Bobbit.
Gilbert. Sorry. I'm gonna go Natalya on this.
I don't understand your logic, but okay, it's fine. Trek.
I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch.
Gina.
I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch, and as I said before, I think that it's gonna result with Sasha Banks coming out and attacking Becky after she wins.
Heather. I'm not even gonna talk to you anymore, Gina. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You love me.
I think as far as titles go, this might be the swerve of the night, and it actually might end up being Natalya because of the whole story of her being snapped and intense Natalya.
How many times have we seen the intense Natalia and it turns out to be like fucking Randy Orton female style? Just saying.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that they take the title off of fucking Becky Lynch because she is as basement, well, not god awful, as basement would stay. She can't play the character that they built her up to be. She sucks at it.
But Natalia is like just a living diaper.
Yes.
I agree. Natalia's not the best choice, but honestly, there's been nobody else built up to this
There's
point.
and I will say this again: there is nobody for fucking
Hold on.
Becky Lynch to face.
She'll hold the
Hold on.
title until she loses it to somebody that
Hold
actually is
on.
worthy.
I just thought of something.
Oh
No.
crap!
What if Ronda Rousey comes back to help Natty win?
I said that and everybody fucking laughed at me.
I
No,
feel
I
like if
think
Ronda
so
Rousey
too.
comes back, she's not helping anybody win. She's just going to like obliterate somebody after the match is done.
Yeah, she'll
No,
obliterate
I-
Becky afterwards.
Feel like if she comes back, she's gonna help one of them win, and then she's gonna attack them.
If that were the case, then she would want Becky because Becky was the one that took the title off of her.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Especially with that sketchy finish at WrestleMania.
I don't know why everybody likes Natalia.
I don't.
I mean, I think she's just a likable person.
She looks
So I think
like a
that's
cat.
why. Only when she wears the cat ears and does her makeup
Only
all
when
weird. Otherwise, she's
transformed her
pretty.
face into a cat.
Yeah, but when you see her like normally on Total Divas or whatever, she's actually really pretty.
Yeah, she is.
Such thing.
And it's like I said, it's not that I like Natalia. It's just the story they're telling with her. I could see them pulling that trigger just from her, especially
Again?
given that her father passed away recently.
Oh,
Not gonna
Can't-
happen.
And not only
Mhm.
that, but I think that Natty she's well put in the work and helped the company so much that she deserves this.
No.
Like
already-
even if
already-
hold on,
She's
even
had
if
the
it's
Divas
just for a
title and
month.
she's had the SmackDown title, so.
Not
that's true.
gonna
But
happen.
I don't
It's
know. Well, I
not-
mean, I want
you
Lynch,
think
but
they're gonna take the title off the person that's going to be on the face of the game in like a couple months?
well, and not only
They did it
that,
to
but
AJ.
like,
No, they didn't took it off in November.
but
Game was out 2 months from.
But
Not
not only
gonna
that, but
happen.
Becky Lynch is also one of their top merch sellers right now.
I don't
Not
give a. I
gonna
don't give a.
happen.
I could give two, and I'm not yelling at Eugene. I could give two fucking shits who is the top merch seller.
I
If it-
agree with you.
If
I
it
agree with you, but I'm
tells-
just
if
saying.
if it tells the story, I don't care who it is. I just Becky Lynch. It would. They need to do something to tell a story to get the fucking title off of her because she's a fucking god awful champion.
Not
She needs to
gonna
chase.
happen.
I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but it needs to happen sooner
She's a
than
better
later.
chaser.
She's a better chaser than being a champion. You can be the face of the company and never win a fucking title.
But I will say, not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, man. She's
And
winning
no,
for
I
sure.
I agree with it. And the final match, I don't know if this is the main event. It should be because there is no match. I said it earlier today. There is no match on this card that really deserves to be a fucking main event at all. But this one is probably going to be the Universal title, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. I've got Brock winning. I mean,
I've got Bork Laser.
you can't have a guy who comes out, decimates the challenger, being Seth Rollins, and just decimates him, has him internally bleeding, and then the next week comes out, beats the shit out of him again, and then expects Seth Rollins to actually beat Brock Lesnar.
Unless
Here's
there's
my question for this
If
whole
he
thing.
beats,
Like, where
if he
is
beats Brock Lesnar on Sunday, then every other fucking person that Brock Lesnar has beat might as well just walk right out the fucking door and never fucking wrestle again. Because Brock Lesnar is now dead.
I agree with you 100%, but I also feel like for this whole thing, you've got Seth Rollins spitting up blood, and the fucking ambulatory crew taking him back to the ambulance, and it's like, where is Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Aren't they besties, little buds? Roman Reigns getting dropped on by fucking forklifts.
Right? Yeah, I don't even know that's probably gonna be some impromptu bullshit.
If Brock Lesnar doesn't win, I'm done. I don't care.
Yep. Heather.
Bork Lesnar.
Bork Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Gina.
Lesnar.
Bobbitt.
Bork Laser.
Mm-hmm. You down for the Bork?
Bork Laser. Trek.
Yeah, it's Lesnar.
Okay.
So
and I do think there will be an impromptu fucking Roman Reigns.
yeah, but well, I was just gonna bring that up. Like as of right now, we have no Drew McIntyre on the card.
Nope.
We have no Roman Reigns on the card as of now. We have no Samoa Joe on the card.
Correct.
No Zack Ryder.
I mean, expected Zack Ryder. But I mean, 3 of their top stars, and no Elias. 4 of their top stars. No Miz. 5 of their top stars are not on the fucking card.
Correct.
Which makes no fucking sense.
One of them will have a segment for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, and
Either
I think
Elias
that
or
I think
Miz.
Roman Reigns we're gonna get. I thought we were gonna get Roman versus Samoa Joe, but obviously with what happened on Raw this past week, so I don't think that's gonna happen. There's gonna be some sort of a segment with Roman to where either he found out who it was or something.
It's gonna be Roman, Rowan, and Daniel Bryan.
But what about the tag matches? Like we didn't go over tag matches.
There isn't any.
Shut the front door. They don't have any tag matches.
Nope.
No.
Like New Day isn't on the card.
No.
I could have sworn the Revival and the Usos were on the card. Because I thought that I heard that the Usos were scheduled to lose and then they were going to be punished for Jimmy's behavior.
The Usos
Well,
are
they are being
scheduled to
punished for
drive
being at
drunk.
SummerSlam.
Nope. I just read the entire card out to you.
Wow, I can't believe we don't have any tags titles. That's
It'll happen
ridiculous.
on the pre-show or something. I don't know.
No,
Nobody cares.
it's not. There's nothing
It's
on the
no.
pre-show.
Well, I mean, you would think that they would have some kind of impromptu
Dark match.
thing.
Dark match. That being said, that's our
Well, see,
prediction.
and Cena. They can't. The Uso. Jay's not allowed to be at SummerSlam.
Jimmy can't
Jay
get
isn't?
No, Jimmy. Jimmy can't get into Canada.
His current
Oh,
DUI arrest.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he can't.
We don't
leave
allow
the country.
drunk driving.
Yeah, he can't leave the country.
I will say that I think if I have to look at it as a whole, I think SummerSlam is going to end up being a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to say I'm going to fall asleep during it. Just kidding.
I'm going to watch it late, so I will fall asleep during it.
We will be streaming it, just to let everybody know. So we will be live on my channel, over on the Coldbone Show. We will be doing not doing the pre-show. I'm not going to sit there for fucking 8 hours watching fucking wrestling. I watch enough wrestling as is.
Here's my question: who's down to watch it after it's aired at
I will probably
12:30
be in bed.
until 7 a.m.?
I will be in bed. I will be getting
Well,
up when you.
12:30, I could probably watch like half of it with you. Like, 'cause that's only like 11:30 for me.
Well, I ain't gonna fucking stay up till fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. Are you crazy?
But why?
Well, that means I will have been up for over 24 hours because I know Wendy will wake me up. With that being said, we're gonna move into I don't even know what the fucking promotion is anymore.
MVW versus
MVW versus NJPW.
GPW. Woo!
Take it away, my friend.
Take me away.
Can y'all see the TV? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see my TV just fine.
Alright.
You want to sit here?
Not yours, you asshole.
I need to get up from here.
Yes.
First match, we have
Fucking
Canadian Basement versus Trek.
I thought that. So who's in NJPW here?
Well, both of us.
No, he's got himself going, or Captain Fanta going against Okada.
Is that
the only match?
No.
Hey, hold up.
No.
Bob it.
This is,
Never mind. Go ahead.
yeah. This is just a normal match.
Not once it ends and we start jerking each other off in the middle of the ring.
I mean, what?
That way we both win.
Moving on.
Consider this the pre-show match.
How dare you put Trek on the pre-show?
Trek deserves to be in a dark match.
No, poor Trek.
What in the fuck am I about?
You're the new dad.
Oh my god. Casper, the friendly jism.
With the unicorn horn dildo and all.
Look at this walk down to the ring. This is how I walk in real life too. Just so you know.
That's how you were walking after you came out of the bathroom with Renee Young.
We never told that story.
Oh, we didn't tell the story.
You can tell it now. Go
We're
ahead.
still on.
Wait. Is this basement coming out with the fucking unicorn horn?
Yep.
Yes,
that's
it is.
me.
This is fucking great.
It's my life. Yeah, I met Renee Young and Sami Zayn, and I will say it was a weird venue. So we had to like go into like some secret door, and walk up the stairs, and then everybody's just sitting there. Oh man, so many fucked up things happened. I was like, I'm gonna go get a beer, and I went to the like counter, and the counter was like, you can either have this beer no one's ever heard of, or you can have Sapporo, which is not great beer. I'm sorry, but everybody that might like Sapporo out there. Anyways, I had a pint of Sapporo, I'm drinking it, and then I was like, Dory's like, I really like that girl's shirt. So I look over and I'm like, yo, she really likes your shirt. It was an Undertaker shirt. And the girl I talked to, I think, might have been insane. Like, wear your face insane?
Oh my god, it's my shirt. You want it?
Like, she kept talking and she wouldn't stop.
Get into it with me, basement.
No, but she kept talking and she wouldn't stop. And all she was talking was like, well, I met this guy and I met that guy. And I will tell you right now that Zack Ryder and this person just hate their life because I met them on the street and they weren't willing to take pictures. I'm like, you sound insane. Everything about you sounds ridiculously insane. So I just stopped paying attention to her and she was talking there in the corner. And at one point in time, I'm like, I'm talking to Dory and she looks over at me. She's like, I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, nope. And it was pretty fucked up. Anyways, we bought our tickets from a transvestite, and it's 100% true. She was transitioning. He was transitioning into a woman. But this place was like super, I guess, progressive. But I now that I've experienced it, I don't want any part of it. It's like, I'm sorry, but like this unisex bathroom thing is fucking weird. Like, you can't have urinals and women walking in behind you. That's like, there's...
Yeah, some woman came in and walked in on basement's penis, apparently.
I'm telling you right now, this is the way the bathrooms are formed there. There's 2 urinals and a stall. So the women come in and they can see...
You act like a girl never seen your penis before. It's not that big of a deal.
But there's time and place. That was not the time or place.
Well, if you guys watched the fucking Telltale Batman series we just finished on this channel, Basement, I would think you would have just sat there and turned around like, you want it?
So one guy out there is going to be like, well, I need to take a piss because I must relieve myself. I can't wait till someone watches me. Like, what the fuck? Nobody is out there.
I'm pretty sure that she probably wasn't walking in to
she wasn't, but like still, like,
come and watch you pee, Basement.
Why make the easy things in life confusing? Is my question.
Here's my question. Like, how is it possibly fair that men get to have their wangs hanging out, but like okay, so like we get to see guys' dicks hanging out when they're like taking a pee, But you guys don't get to see our vaginas when we're peeing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it should just be like
I mean, not that you would
urinal,
want to, but
a urinal for guys and a trough for women. You just squat over the trough.
So
No, this place was fucking weird. Anyways, I before I went into the washroom, Sami Zayn walked by. First, Renee Young did, and I didn't know who she was in that moment. She had a beret on. She looked like a goddamn asshole. I was like, oh, it's another French asshole. Canada, am I right? She just walked by, but then Sami Zayn looked at me. I was like, what's up? And he was like, what's up? And that was the beginning. By the end, I met Sami Zayn. I gave him a little bit of money for his Syrian relief fund or whatever. But his eyes are dead. He looks like he's dead inside. Like there's no soul. There's zero soul in him.
Well, I mean, he's a ginger, so that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Oh shit!
he did comedy, kind of. No, he wasn't bad. He was pretty good. Renee Young. Oh God, Renee Young was not good. I'm sorry, but Renee Young is exactly as vanilla as she seems on the mic.
But that was kind of what surprised me when you guys said Sami Zayn and Renee Young, because like I know Dolph Ziggler does the comedy stuff, so if anything, I would have anticipated him to be there.
Sami Zayn is decent because he can like act in the moment, but Renee Young is just, she's just not good. I'm so like she just isn't good. She's not fun. She's not funny. She has no timing. And just exactly the way everybody feels with her on the mic is the way she was in that show. Afterwards, this is like, do you want to take a picture with us? I was like, nah, I'm good.
Not.
Everybody was out there. It's like, let's take a selfie. I just went over like, thanks for the laughs. I must leave now.
But Basement, you had an intimate moment with Renee in the bathroom. How could you?
No, I didn't. She went to the bathroom. She's like, which one's the women's? I'm like, like the other one has 2 urinals, and she's like, well, I'm gonna close this door so nobody can enter. I'm like, okay. Well, she started kicking out, like, it was kind of weird, like the door is stuck open because it's an entryway to a washroom. She started kicking out the like foot of the door, you know what I mean, like to close the door, which wasn't supposed to happen. And she's like, I don't want you to hear me pee. I'm like, what in the fuck? But Renee Young is actually like, she's an attractive woman, but she still has this grandma-ness to her. She's like a grandma in a regular aged woman's body.
Wow.
Well, she did everything that I've ever seen off of her own Twitter and her own Instagram. She is that awkward, kind of tomboyish kind of girl. It's like she has her moments where she can be the girly side, but she prefers being that boyish kind of clothing.
And
I mean, with Renee Young, she actually has like the emotions of a paper bag.
Well, and I kind of feel that that's why her and like Dean probably took up as well as they did, because I feel like he's kind of the same way.
She has the emotions of a paper bag. I will say that. After the whole thing,
Chuck beat your ass.
But actually, I think he won by count out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he beat his ass out in the.
No, bullshit is what I will say.
What do we got next here, Bobbitt?
Up next, we have Tetsuya Naito versus. Let me see.
Gina.
I'll take on Naito.
Oh.
You just want to pin Naito.
Oh,
I'll pin Naito in a mattress fight. What?
I will say I'm
Naito versus the butt fucking.
I thought I actually thought Sami Zayn was bigger than he is.
A lot of them are like that. When I first met Jeff Hardy back when I was a teenager, I thought he would be like this gigantic dude. Meanwhile, I was like 15 and I was up to his shoulder.
I'm larger than Sami Zayn. In every way, if you know what I mean. We went to the unisex bathroom together.
Wait.
No, we didn't.
What? I was just gonna say, you seen Sammy's penis? That's huge.
No. Is it though? No, I didn't see.
I was gonna be like, did you cross streams?
He's just like a
Sword
average,
fight.
very average sized human being. He doesn't even look like a wrestler.
I
Well,
feel
even
like
looking at him on
it's
TV,
like
he
that
doesn't have
with
the
a
build
lot
of
of
a
them.
wrestler.
He looks like just a thin
Well,
5'10".
well, and you know, Sami Zayn, like he's never really been built like a wrestler. He was kind of more of the smaller of the guys.
Mhm.
I went up, I shook his hand, and I was like, "Look up at me, bitch! Look up at me."
I feel like if I ever met
He had
Kevin
really soft
Owens,
hands. I'll give him that. Very
I
soft.
feel like if I ever met Kevin Owens, I would find myself wanting to rub his tummy as if he's pregnant.
Yeah, he's got a pregnant belly.
I feel like that's a bad move.
Yeah, it's not a great move. I touched his hands. His hands were way too soft for a human being.
I mean, what's wrong with soft hands?
I just don't understand how you could be like a wrestler and have.
And
like,
has well, yeah, but he
silky,
also hasn't
smooth
wrestled
hands.
in how long?
I
Right.
don't know. Hands were super soft. It was like Jergens all over.
That's something more than Jergens. That's probably just like a lot of jerking off.
But his eyes were like, I'm telling you right now, his eyes were dead. Like he had no. He was.
The picture Dory put up of him and her together, it's just like they're pitch black eyes. It's like, dear
I'm
God.
telling you.
Okay, I have
do
to go and look
never-
this now.
Do never look into his eyes. It's just gonna absorb. Oh God, it's Gilbert.
No.
Never look into Sami Zayn's eyes. Everybody out there, if you ever meet him, do not look into his eyes. He actually seemed like very normal when I first met him, but after I met him when he was like being Sami Zayn, he's like, "You want a picture? You wanna say hi?" I was like,
The
fuck you.
hyperness, yeah.
I don't want a picture.
Oh, his eyes don't look dead. What's wrong with you guys?
Look into them.
I am. I'm staring right
Look
into
into them in
his
person.
soul.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I
He's a
can
happy
kind of
guy,
see it
like,
because
I mean-
like he looks like he's super, super happy. And like he's smiling with his eyes, but in the same sense, if you look at the actual pupils, he's like, please fucking kill me.
Right.
I just feel like with Sami Zayn and Renee at the same time, it's like they're so business that they're fake.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're fake. It's just I think
they're fake.
it's
They're
but
fake.
I think they're putting up a guard.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that,
Well, they're
but
fake
I feel,
when they do what fake requires.
okay,
Like,
Right.
so like, and I was just gonna say the same thing because you said that Sami Zayn seemed relatively pretty normal the first time around when you met up with him
he's like, hey, I'm like,
before
"What's up?"
he had to like kick. Yeah, before
Hey,
he had to
fucker.
kick in with like being WWE superstar. You know,
I didn't even know it was him at the beginning when I said
Yes.
hello to him.
so
even
like
though
he was
looked
probably
exactly like
super
Sami Zayn.
relaxed. He was probably super relaxed, you know, and everything. Like I could definitely see getting kind of sick of having to do like the photo ops and all that stuff. So I can
Which
see
is why I
like,
didn't
having
even
the
want-
dead eyes like kind of checks out for the moment.
This is why I didn't want to like do it more so than my own. Like, I mean, I could take a picture with Sami Zayn, but what does it give me? What does it give anybody? I was more like, just like, you know what? You actually were pretty good. I said thanks for the laughs and left it at that. I don't need.
You
to-
didn't even take a picture.
No, I didn't take a picture.
Like what the fuck, basement?
I'm deaf. The thing is, I'm never going to be that type of person.
Oh my god, I would be.
I
I'd
don't
be like,
need
"May
a
I get a
picture."
picture?
I'm gonna. I will remember meeting him, but that's
No,
all
this
that
would be
matters.
me. So I have a really weird request. Can you pick me up? Well, we.
I have a
choose this
really
picture?
weird request. Can we go to the unisex bathroom?
I have a really
Can you
weird
give me a
request.
boost
Can we go to
Thunderbomb?
my hotel room?
In all honesty, they both seem pretty cool people. Down to earth when they could be themselves, but
these-
corporate as soon as they couldn't.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I can definitely see, and just judging by like their characters alone, it seems like they both might have like a little bit of that like social awkwardness
Well,
or
even
social
Sami Zayn
anxiety a
before
little bit.
both of them before they started were like, we are super stressed out about this because it was
Yeah.
like they were doing improv, right?
Right.
Renee had her moment. She was all right. Yeah, I mean, she wasn't great, but Sami Zayn was definitely better than Renee in
But
terms
you know
of
what,
improv. But he
those-
was also working with like the guy he was working with when they did improv did 99% of the work. He was more like emoting with his body, not really with his mouth.
Well,
He wasn't
it's
bad.
also
It wasn't bad.
Was
They
it
both made me
just-
laugh. They both made me laugh. So
Was it
that's-
just Renee and Sammy? I thought there was
no,
another
no?
wrestler that was involved
It was
in that.
written. Well, there were no other wrestlers. There was a guy from Kim's Convenience Store or whatever the fuck that show was called.
Okay.
I've never heard of it.
I don't know either. But he was actually really funny. The guy was hilarious.
And people gotta remember, doing improv is some of the hardest comedy ever because you have to come up with everything right on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had to do
the overall
improv.
show was really good. It was funny. I will say, like they didn't do a bad job at all. None of them.
My God, I had to do improv for theater class in college, and it was seriously that was the worst part of the entire class because you don't think.
That's where I showed my skills.
Well, you don't think that it's gonna be like, and it's really hard for anybody that's like socially awkward because I can relate with like Renee and probably Sammy in that aspect because like I'm very socially awkward when if I don't know you, then I'm very awkward at first. So like I had such a hard time coming up with shit on the spot because I just felt awkward.
It was pretty funny because like Sami Zayn and the other guy were doing improv and they're like talking to the audience and they're like, you know, it's like when you try to be funny, you usually fail. I was like, I spoke it. I was like, well, then don't try at all. And that didn't go over well.
I wouldn't think it would.
But I also didn't care.
You never care.
No,
Yeah.
that's the key.
Hence why I would probably never go public places with you. Faison would just be like, "Fuck you," and I'd be like, "That was not me."
I'm respectful. I just when I'm not, I don't realize it. But I also was like, they led themselves into that. And there's this other guy. He's like, they're calling with the audience. He's like, what? They were asking like, where are you from? Where are you from? And this other guy was like, I'm from Finland. He's like, oh, so what's happening in Finland? He's like, summer's nice. And that's what I said. And when I said well, don't try at all. And I clapped like this. And he's like, you seem like you care less than the Finland guy.
Who said that? Sami Zayn?
No, the guy he was with. Sami Zayn.
My God, that's funny.
But Sami Zayn stared me in the eyes with his dead eyes. Laughed. And I was like, yep, stare each other in dead eyes. Blood.
Yep, Naito's busted open.
I must relieve myself
Again.
in a unisex bathroom.
I mean, watch out for Renee Young. Or any other random women that want to come walking on your penis.
I will say Renee Young is actually like super hot.
Okay.
Well,
like,
I mean, I
always,
could have
like-
told you that.
But she almost came off as like a grandma, and she got these like terrible suits that she puts on. Like her costume designer, if it's her, it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know why she just all of a sudden started putting like those weird outfits on because she never used to do that.
She was wearing.
I
these,
think that's more wardrobe choosing what she wears rather than her deciding what she wears.
Oh, I don't know because that one time when she wore that shiny ass jacket, she was so proud of that fucking jacket, and it was the most ugly thing I've ever fucking seen in my life.
I'm gonna go pee, but when I come back, I will tell you what she was wearing.
Ooh, can't wait for that.
Apparently, she was hot enough for him to commit that to memory.
Right?
But Fuck King has defeated Naito.
How, Bobbit? How does this happen?
It just happened.
And more importantly, what the fuck does that guy have on his face?
That is a dear friend of ours, her Cardinal Mustache and Beard compilation.
Okay, first of all, Cardinal's got that mustache down to a T. This guy's
He
an
does.
asshole.
He does. He's done it much better.
Guy
than
looks
that
like a
right there.
mixture. Guy looks like a mixture between, what's his face? Okay, Rusev, obviously, and then, oh my God,
Subculture.
no, what was the tag team that Aiden English used to be in? The Voldemort.
Vaudevillains.
Yeah, that guy from the Vaudevillains with the mustache,
Bosch.
and Brodus Clay. It looks like they're all thrown into one.
Or you could just sit there and say Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
What the fuck did I come back to?
We were discussing Buttfuck King. Who?
On the topic of butt fucking,
I was waiting for it.
She had these like, oh man, so like her jeans were super tight, and Renee Young has a very nice buttocks.
Oh my God! No wonder she told you that she wanted to close the door.
I wasn't creepy.
Yeah, not until you said it's nothing I haven't heard before.
Yeah, that was that.
That was super creep. Super
Yeah.
creep.
No, it wasn't nothing I've ever heard before. It was more like Will Ospreay versus him. Oh God!
Oh no.
Oh God, this isn't fair, Babbitt. Why do you do this to me? Who do I choose?
Him oh God in this image looks like a gigantically jacked sperm.
Well, he is the Jesus character, so.
Yeah, he's so glowy.
No.
And he floats to the right. Oh lordy.
But I will also say Renee Young was wearing like WWE makeup when it wasn't like a televised show, so she had a lot on. But she doesn't need. I mean, I don't think she needs.
The whole problem is how makeup is done today. If it's not done with all of that, it's not done quote unquote properly. So.
Well, and like that's the thing. I guess I could never do makeup the way that most girls do makeup these days because I'm more of the natural type look. Like, I'll wear foundation and eyeliner and mascara and eyeshadow and all that stuff. But I don't like to have like my face caked full of makeup. Like I watch some of these makeup tutorials on YouTube and it's fucking ridiculous. Like they have the base and then after that they have the fucking concealer and then they have another layer of some sort of primer and then there's the layer of the foundation and then after that there's contouring.
Then blush. Highlighter.
And blush. Yeah, blush and then highlighter and then more fucking concealer and then your eyeshadow, mascara, all that stuff, fake eyelashes.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck is this shit with fake eyelashes? And then they spray finishing spray over the top of it. So by the time you're done, you have like 20, fake eyebrows, or fill in your eyebrows. Like, by the time that you're done, you have like 20 layers of makeup on.
And I will say, like with Renee Young, if you cut off her at the neck, like from the neck to the top of the head, she was like super not real. But everything below that, that was her real self. But like she had way too much makeup on, and it was like, why? You don't need it.
Well, and I don't understand why that's like the fad these days anyway. Because don't get me wrong, I am 110% for doing if it makes you feel pretty, then do it. But most guys
prefer less.
Like they want
like
a woman that they're gonna
good
see
features, but like don't accentuate features like, you don't have.
Right.
Guys want to see a girl that when she takes off all of her makeup, she's not going to transform into a fucking other person.
Right.
Yeah, it's subtlety, and I think that's for like everything. Don't like make yourself look like someone you're not. Just be an accentuated version of yourself.
Well, I equivalent makeup to like perfume. Okay, yep. You're not going to drown yourself in perfume, so don't drown yourself in makeup.
I mean, I remember back in the 80s and 90s, people would laugh and say, "She put that makeup on by the bucket load."
Yeah.
Now it's like, if it's not on by the bucket load, you're not doing it right.
No, I disagree. Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, everybody picks up on it.
And not only that, everybody's complaining about how fucking broke they are and how expensive everything is, but yet you're going to sit there and spend literally over $100 on just what you need for one round of makeup.
I think if you guys watched it, you guys would have laughed your ass off at the girl that was there with Renee Young because she was really funny.
Oh my God. My friend invited me to this like thing on Facebook that she like sells makeup on and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I laughed so fucking hard because I click on it and immediately I see mascara for $28 and I laughed and I said, go fuck yourself. I can buy that shit for $6 at Walmart.
Exactly. I mean, before I left New York, I contemplated sitting there and going and getting a makeover done just for like a little treat myself birthday present. In order for me to have that done for free, I would have had to have spent $50 on makeup.
Yep.
Oh God, it's so like vibrant in his
White
glowingness.
pants, yes.
I don't even know who to root for this one, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
You might as well root for the guy who gave you the 3 shirts, Gina.
This is true. Like, well, technically, I kind of stole them, but he left them out for me to steal. So, go Brian. And technically, I didn't steal them. I borrowed them.
Teeth.
And the next time he comes over, then he'll bring more shirts, and I'll exchange them.
There you go. That's how it works.
Exactly.
I will say Osprey is coming out on top at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a good move.
Yeah.
Himmelgod's in trouble.
Just slightly, but he is a god, so. Yeah, he's getting out of it. He's getting out of it.
Did JP go to bed?
Yes, he did.
You know it's been a long wrestling this week in wrestling when JP goes to bed before the show's even over.
Yeah. Well, I know once this is over, I am definitely going to bed myself because I've been up since 6:25 this morning, so.
I woke up at like 9:30 with like a super fucking sore throat.
I had the sinus issues, I had the sore throat, and it's been a mess here.
Oh my God, like fucking this morning I called the clinic immediately to get in because my throat was so swollen that I could barely fucking swallow.
Right.
When I woke up. So I'm like, fuck, because immediately I thought strep throat, you know. And
Yep.
the doctor was actually like really surprised
Hey,
that
there you go,
I
your
didn't.
pick one, Gina.
What? Hey!
F5 into oblivion.
But yeah, the doctor was actually really surprised that the strep came back negative because I have like white nodules on the back of my throat.
It could be also that with that, the quick test, it could be too soon.
He said that because they what they do is they culture it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then he said that if the culture came back positive, then he would call me. And he said he wouldn't be surprised. He was supposed to get the results from that like tonight or tomorrow morning. So he said he wouldn't be surprised if it came back positive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he mentioned something about mono, and I'm like, dude, I don't have mono. Like I can tell you right now, I don't have mono. I said my kid has gone through mono, and I don't have mono. Like, I just don't. I just know. But yeah, he said if that still comes back negative, then it's probably viral, which would make sense.
Right. Who do we have next here, Bobbit?
We have Kota Ibushi versus.
My douchey.
Let's do OK Fabe.
There we go.
My douchey. I'm going with Connor.
Yeah, I am too. As much as I love Ibushi.
And after this, we got 2 more matches and it's over.
Okay. Kota Ibushi's bangs like bother me.
Well,
How does he see?
That's exactly what.
Instead of an old English sheepdog, he's a Japanese sheepdog.
Exactly. Like, how the fuck does he see? Whenever, every single time he's looking out through his bangs, I'm just like, how are you not going cross-eyed looking through hair?
Not only that, how does it not tickle his face and just drive him nuts? I mean, I have bangs and they annoy the shit out of me.
Well, and how hard is it to take your finger and just brush them to the side? Kota Ibushi's ass looks like super jacked in this game.
Somebody probably went with the RVD model for him.
I'm laughing right now at Lightning McQueen staring at me in the bottom left-hand corner. I like it. Oh God.
Oh lordy. I will say though, whoever built these models of the Japanese promotion did a really good job.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, anyway.
Why is Okife walking to the ring like a lesbian?
Like Alexa Bliss.
Oh, I like it. Oh my God!
Super gay.
I love it. Oh God, what if somebody needs to tell Connor to fucking watch this shit later? He's gonna laugh his ass off. He's a bliss fit. This is great. Oh, not quite as good as Basements earlier with the fucking New Day. I love it.
Judge. I lost horribly. Shrek, you were the better man tonight.
You'll get your revenge eventually.
Rip his arms off and fuck his ass with his own arms.
Connor's just
Okay,
like,
then.
what, bitch? Oh my God. Still trying to get that image out of my
Hey there, what's up?
You're not gonna,
I
Janet.
saw
Don't worry
you.
about it. Just have sweet dreams.
Right?
His
Oh,
leg just went through
I made
Connor's leg.
O'Keefe super oily. Like O'Keefe was really oily.
I feel like he's fused within the ring ropes.
Between that and Ibushi's leg went right through his before that.
2K games.
Yeah.
Did your Ukes is gonna stop developing them?
I didn't hear that. I heard they were just working on a different wrestling game.
No, they've completely severed their relationship with WWE now.
I heard they were just like bored of making the same game every year. Like there's no passion behind it being made.
Well, then they need to
Because
stop
that's
making
exactly
the
what they're
fucking
doing.
baseball and football games.
Well, Ukes, yeah, 2K games, the 2K makes all those shits where it's just like the same fucking game year in, year out.
Yeah, I guess it makes it easier on your fucking staff that they don't have to sit there and scramble. But at the same time, it kills the product.
Well, there's no creative process. The game is the game that you're going to get for the next 10 years with slight improvements as time goes on.
Right.
But it's just like, imagine like working on it, especially like you got to this point where you're in a creative role at a video game company and it's like, well, we would like you to backseat your creativity and just do the
Copy
same
this
thing.
format over and over and over again. Well,
Oh, close. It's
My son
two
is
count.
messaging me when he is literally right down the hall from me.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And he's like, Mom, what's the Hulu stuff? And I'm like, Hulu's down right now. Sorry, buddy. Use Netflix. Why can't Netflix like update their shit more?
What do you mean?
Like
Put new stuff on it.
put new stuff
Faster
out
on
more.
than every 3 months.
Yeah, because like Hulu, Hulu has like the TV channels and stuff, so like their stuff, like let's say you have something that aired on Fox, it airs the next day right away, which I understand that's the difference between Hulu and Netflix, but like I wish that Netflix would just update like maybe bi-weekly instead of monthly.
I guess it depends on the title.
And Ibushi won. with Netflix, because of the fact that they're a monthly streaming service, when it comes to the movies, they take their time updating it because they do still rent out the DVDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, I'm just glad Netflix is keeping the CW shows because that just means like if you started before this coming season, your CW shows are still gonna be on Netflix and they're gonna keep going with each season. But if you premiere from this season on, then it's gonna go to either HBO Pro or CBS All Access.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know, like Hulu's cheap,
Mhm.
and they have like a lot of stuff. Like I said, you can watch shit that aired like last night on TV on Hulu.
Right.
I just wonder how they get away with it. This is my question.
They have contracts with the
They have
networks.
contracts.
It'll change soon.
No, like Hulu has contracts with the networks, and actually, Disney owns Hulu.
Yep.
So, because like when Disney does the Disney Plus or whatever it is, all of Disney's like adult content, from the way I understand it, is going to be going to Hulu,
Yep.
and then their children's
What's
content
Disney's
is going to.
adult content?
Like Runaways, the animated shows are premiering for Marvel.
Yeah, the Marvel series, and then like all of like the cartoon and like the kiddie shit is going to be on Disney Plus.
I don't know what Disney adult will even look like.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star
No,
Wars, Marvel.
Star Wars is going
At this
Plus.
point in time, Disney does not put out any adult content. So
Right. So stuff like Deadpool will go to Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, we don't get Hulu here in Canada, so fuck everything.
And they're also saying that
Sorry?
I can't remember.
No, she was talking to somebody. She was talking to one of her kids.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. It's hard to remember exactly what the content's gonna be because it's really new. I mean,
Hey. Is that me?
Yes. Yeah, you're fighting me for the.
Uh-oh. Basement, you're supposed to be monitoring this shit.
What?
The
I've
stream
got
went
YouTube
down.
up and the stream just went down.
Well, I can
back up.
monitor it, but I can't fix it.
It's still
back up
going
now.
on my end though.
And
Yeah,
went
it
down
says
again.
live stream offline. Is what it says.
Yeah.
That's weird because it's in the green and still going fine on my end with no dropped frames.
Well, I can't fix this. It is what it
I
is.
can't fix it either if there's nothing wrong with fucking OBS.
That's weird. I just refreshed and it still says live stream offline.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
That is weird as fuck.
Why does it sound like a train?
It's their fan.
It's their ceiling fan, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I don't mind it. I kind of chew that. I'm used to it by now, so it just kind of goes.
It's just I mean, it vanishes when we talk, but before we talk, it's just like.
Yeah. Okay, now it's back up.
All right. Well, that's all.
Well, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah. Little malfunction there.
And
with,
it went back
I'm
down.
guessing YouTube because OBS didn't stop for shit.
It just went back down.
Yeah, mine is down.
Yeah, well, this is the life we live. Mine stayed down. Mine stayed down the whole time.
So, like, should we record this so we can upload the end of the matches?
Oh, I can't do anything.
I got it recording right now.
Okay.
Folks, we're out of time. We'll let you know what happened next week. Good night.
AEW.
No, I was thinking we're like early Raw when they would do that, like when it was Triple H versus Ken Shamrock.
You're just pulling something that I do not understand.
Fortunately, I only have one more match planned anyway, and that was it.
Well,
So-
it's back up now from what
Yeah,
I
it's
can
working now.
That was really weird.
Super weird.
It isn't like I got like
God.
like 3 matches left or anything.
Hey, like, if your right hand itches, does that mean you're going to get money or you got to pay money? Because it's knowing my luck, it's pay
Yeah,
money.
you're gonna get a stroke.
Hand itches.
Bananas.
I said my hand itches,
So
not
you don't
bananas.
like your
What?
so you don't like your pants, do you?
What about my pants?
He said you don't like your. He's asking you don't like Mickey Jane pants.
I mean, I like the color. I just haven't worn pants like that in so long.
Jerk.
But
Gina's
it's cool.
a jerk.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Like, it's fine.
Gina must lose.
I mean, shut your
Hogan
face.
must pose.
I mean,
does.
chances are I'm going to lose anyway. Heather's looking pretty goddamn good in this thing.
For once.
By the way, you were talking about Netflix updating earlier. Well, they got the Rocko's Modern Life special on there today.
You got what?
Rocco's Modern
already
Life.
seen it.
Quinn.
Uh,
Almost
One of my friends
thought he
seen
said
it, like-
rockless
like-
modern wife.
that I mean, I loved Rocco back in the day, right? But I don't.
I never
know.
actually cared about Rocco.
I mean, I liked
and
it
his
when I
life,
was younger,
modern
but
or not.
I don't know if that would be one of the shows that I would like actually. Because by the time that Rocco came out, I was a teenager. So
But I
like,
also wasn't
What
a
the hell
fan
was
of
that, Heather?
Rocco's Modern
I
Life.
don't know.
The animation didn't grasp.
like, I was
did like the
actually-
animation.
I was actually more into like, believe it or not, I was more into like Doug.
Same here.
I
I
love
was too.
Doug.
I just didn't like Rocco's Modern Life's animation.
Well, I was as a teenager. Yes, I watched Rugrats as a teenager. Okay, I don't know a single person that didn't.
Right.
And then like Doug, Hey Arnold.
I really want to. For anyone
Doug
who
was
grew up with
Gina
Disney,
just
Doug,
completely no-sold that.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
for anyone who grew up with Disney's Doug, I feel bad for you because that Doug sucked.
I feel like Doug sucked in general. Like he was
No,
such
I
a, like,
love Doug.
yeah, but he was such like a soulless asshole.
Well, and then like I think of like if I'm gonna watch anything these days, if it's like remastered or whatever, if I'm gonna watch anything, it's probably gonna be more along the lines of like Daria or
I
Beavis and
lived on
Butthead.
Daria.
I loved Daria too. Like it was so great.
I will
But-
go out on a limb and say I absolutely hated Daria.
Oh my god.
It was a Beavis
Why?
and Butthead spinoff.
Yeah, I love Daria, but like that would be like more the stuff that I would probably watch today. Would be like if
And-
they would bring Beavis and Butthead back or
But Beavis and Butthead, nah, man.
bring
I'm also
Daria.
gonna go
Wants
on
to
a
do
limb and
another
say
movie.
Beavis and Butthead.
I love
He
Beavis
wants
and
to do
Butthead, but it's
another-
more like it's more a nostalgia thing for me. Beavis and Butthead.
TP.
No, but for
Fucking
me, for me,
terrible
it's more like a
content.
nostalgia thing because like it was one of the only shows, like well, not only, but it was one of the times that my dad and I actually sat down and like watched TV together. We would watch Beavis and Butthead every week. So it's more nostalgia factor with me.
He wants to do another movie. I'm like, well, it took him, what, 21 years?
Yeah, I mean, I used to
Me
love
too.
Beavis and Butthead.
Because MTV doesn't know how to do shit nowadays.
I feel like I
Fucking
grew an
MTV
appreciation for
stood
Beavis and
music
Butthead.
television, and now it's all fucking reality shows.
I want
Yeah.
MTV from like the early to mid 90s back.
I don't want MTV back at all. I feel like they made their bed, they should lie in it. Their bed was
Even if it's
absolute
not
bullshit.
but even if it's not MTV, I want a channel that does what MTV did in like the early to mid even the late 90s. Cuz like
Is
the
that VH1?
TRLs.
But the problem
Yeah.
is, like, new age music isn't like that music. New age music
Yeah.
is like, let's speed it up 25% and re-release it as a
Auto-tune
different
everything.
album.
Well, I mean, like I miss like the TRLs, and then you had like the late night shows like Beavis and Butthead or Daria or I don't know. I think they had
Howard
one
Stern.
called like Uncensored or something like that.
MTV is
Undressed.
too
Undressed. That's
too fucking politically correct to even touch that shit.
Yeah, or,
Yeah.
or like you know what I really miss, and they're not gonna bring this back now because like you were saying, Basement, the artists these days are just they're not like that. But I miss the Unplugged series.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like these days, 90% of your artists can't even fucking sing.
Without auto tune.
Yeah.
Exactly, without auto.
They got auto tune and better music made before them that they're gonna sample.
Right.
Yep, and their name's Ariana Grande, and she's a prime suspect.
They're all the same.
They really are.
Every single
I
one
mean,
of them
and you know
is
the-
the same.
And I mean, I know a lot of people out there don't like Taylor Swift, okay? But like Taylor Swift, I wish that she wouldn't have fallen like her latest album. She fell into that loop of what they're doing these days with like the auto tune and the 50,000 different beats in the background, and I hate that because I always felt that was her voice was something that characterized her separate from every artist these days.
Well, it's because she
Well,
made
hey-
the mistake of going from country to pop. If she had stayed
Yeah.
country, she would have been fine.
Hey Gina, you won.
Hey,
But I will say that, like, when it comes to music, it's the same thing with everything else. It seems like the actual world has just adopted this WWE standpoint,
wait,
where
I
it's
won a belt.
like,
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
where it's
I'm
like,
a champion in one of the promotions again. Yes.
it's like the entertainment, the more the more iconic you are as an entertainer is more important than the actual thing you're making.
Well, in like today's country, like I love any country prior to I'm gonna say like 2004.
The entertainer is more important than the entertainment they're making.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
say. That's
But,
the same
like-
thing for everything now.
But like today's country can eat my ass. Like
Yes.
legitimately, I hate today's country. Like I'm a 90s country kind of girl. Like I love fucking Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, fucking Kenny
McGraw.
Chesney, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, all of them. Gretchen Wilson, even she was in the early 2000s. But
Mhm.
Yep.
I love all of that country. But today's country can kiss my ass. And Luke Bryan, if you're listening, if you ever by chance hear this, you can lick my asshole because I hate you. Like legitimately, I hate Luke Bryan.
What?
Like, how bad is it now when I'm like driving? I would rather listen to nothing than turn on the radio.
Yeah, but Basement, I'm pretty sure you don't have a soul.
The thing
We've
is, I keep
discussed
hearing-
this. Don't get me
Well,
started.
But
with
it's not that I
music
don't like
talent
music.
again.
I hate with a passion music that exists nowadays. Even if it's in
Yeah.
like my wheelhouse, I fucking hate it. It's trash. All of
feel
it's
like-
garbage.
I feel like if I was ever riding in a car with you, like we would be listening to the oldie station and
We would be
loving every
listening to
second
what
of it.
we would be listening to what you wanted to listen to, and that's fine.
Well,
That do
I know that. I'll get you singing Journey. Don't worry.
No, but like I love Journey, but like I would say like I would say regardless of if I'm driving, whoever I'm driving with has full control over whatever they want to listen to. I will appreciate or like whatever. That's just the way I am. But like at the same time, it's like this day and age's music is just like a cheap knockoff of what the predecessors was. Everything is a
Yep.
sequel, and the sequel sucks ass.
Yeah, it's called the Jonas Brothers. I'm sick of hearing it.
Well, and you know, like this old time road stuff. I'm sorry
Yes.
for anybody out there listening. If you like that stuff, it's just not up my alley. Like
I will say I've never heard that song in my life.
I've heard
like,
it.
it's
I
not my
I
it's
love
not
that
my cup of
song.
tea. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, it's nothing like against the artists, you know, or whatever. But like I said, when it comes to country, I am like a pure country fan. Okay, like I love when country was actually country music. You know, like Garth Brooks, fucking Hank Williams Jr.
Those are the country.
basically
Those
anything
are
that
actually the
came
country
before the
singers
90s.
I remember. Like what
Right.
you're saying is the country singers I know.
That's
Nowadays,
because
like
they're the iconic ones that were worth remembering.
Yep.
if I'm gonna listen to music, 10 times out of 10, it's gonna be music that was made 15,
Yeah,
20 years ago.
prior to like 2000 and well, I'm gonna say like prior to like 2002.
And I mean, people always said that. I was like, oh, well, you know, if you once you get old, you only like the oldies. It's like, I don't even think it's that. It's like
Everything.
when I was 25 years old, I'd rather listen to music made 10 years ago
You know
because
what?
it was better than
This
what I was
says
listening to.
this should say a lot right here. Okay, my son is 16 years old, and my son would rather listen to the oldies, like we're talking like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. He would rather listen to that music over 99% of any of the music that is out today. Because like
the
I
music
listen
that's out today is not actual music. It's just money making machine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I mean, I will listen to Austin's playlist, and yeah, he might have a couple of songs that have come out today. Like, there's a couple of them. Like, I enjoy NF.
I agree.
Like,
I agree,
enjoy
there's,
I
like-
enjoy NF, and I enjoy whoever sings that Wallflower song. I
I
like that
agree.
song.
There's like those catchy songs that you just
Yeah.
can't help be caught by, and then there's also like there's still good music, but it doesn't really hit the airwaves.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I enjoy like a couple of Post Malone songs, you know, and stuff like
You
that.
know what?
But
The fucked up thing is, for the longest time, I had no idea what Post Malone even was.
right?
I didn't even think it was a human being. I thought it was a band.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so
But
you'll
he
see a
saw,
couple.
I saw something where he was in a tank,
Yeah.
and it was all right. That song was all right. Whatever.
But I
that
mean, you know, like you'll on his playlist you'll see a couple of those songs like that, but 90% of his list is anything from like I'm gonna say 79 prior.
But the thing is, too, like, you look at all these new artists, the best thing they do is when they pay homage to the people that came before them,
Yeah,
which is sad
Yep.
because they can't
There's-
produce anything worthwhile new.
I mean, there's still a couple of like really good rock bands. Like I know Tool just dropped an album,
In this
or
moment.
they're getting ready. Yeah, or they're getting ready to drop an album. They released their first single, which is like fucking 10 minutes long, but so Tool's still around. You know, you still have Avenged Sevenfold that's around.
Godsmack. Disturbed.
Godsmack's around. Yeah. I know.
Both
Korn-
Butcher Babes.
I know both Korn and Slipknot have both just dropped new albums recently. So like the rock era's coming back, which I'm really glad about because that's like the only genre that seems to still have their shit together.
However, you still need to go onto the underground radios stations to find the ones that are actually worth listening to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
So
for a while
you
there.
had these rock groups that sit there. Oh, we're a rock group, but you fucking sound like you're Pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, well, I enjoy Pink, but
I do too, but you know what? She's a pop artist.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like for a little while, the rock station by us just it was horrible. It was horrible, and it was just because like the rock songs that were coming out were horrible. But now that you have people like Korn and Slipknot and Tool and a whole bunch of other bands dropping albums again, the station's starting to pick up again.
I absolutely hate Korn. I absolutely hate Slipknot.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I had this
They're
motherfucker.
They're
Hold on.
gimmick bands, man.
I had this motherfucker listen to Snuff one night, and he could not understand what the song was about. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, who doesn't like Snuff? I mean, come on.
Basement, I think you would enjoy the band called Ailstorm.
Ailstorm or Hailstorm?
No, Ailstorm. It's an all-male band. They have a song called Drink. You need to go onto YouTube, find that song and listen to it.
I mean, if it's called Drink, then I'm pretty sure he's gonna like it anyway.
I just want to say this.
Basement, I love
First
you.
off,
I do.
I don't mind Old Town Road. It's just they play it so much here. It's just it's
Well,
burned
that's
into
what
my
they do with
brain.
every new soundtrack. They play it until it makes your ears bleed.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's also what they do with the Jonas
Well, you know
Brothers.
what? Every time they play, I crank that shit up on my radio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard. Okay,
How's
I'm gonna
that,
I'm gonna go take a Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh my god, I hate you.
It's just a great match. We'll have a great match. I'll be right back.
No, Bob, it's fine. I mean, it's just they play. It's the station here just plays it too much. If they didn't play it too much, I might like it, but they play it every single damn time, and we're tired of it.
You know, they do
don't
that.
mind it.
They do that here with a lot of like Taylor Swift songs. Like,
Yeah.
they will play them until like Blank Space is one of the only ones that like I hated. Like, I hated that. I loved it when it first came out, and then I started hating it because I heard it all the time. Like, and this
Yeah.
is when I was driving back and forth to school. So it was on the radio. Like, I would be driving to school, and within the hour of me driving to school, I heard it like 3 different times on 3 different radio stations.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I hated it, but I'm back to where I like the song again, you know? And then there's a couple of other songs of hers that were very similar. And I don't know, for some odd reason, radio stations, they loved Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And then they play this new Jonas Brothers song. I'm sorry, folks, if everybody likes Jonas Brothers, that's cool. But you know why Jonas Brothers are back? Because nobody liked them fucking solo. That's why. They couldn't.
I mean, I liked
Nick.
and that's why.
I
like-
like them solo.
I liked Nick Jonas solo, but he was the only one that I actually liked solo.
I don't like any of
I
these
liked all of them.
Jonas Brothers.
What the fuck? I just feel like I'm getting shit on by a trick tonight.
I only have respect for one of the Jonas Brothers that was in this TV show that I watched called Kingdom.
Yeah, that was
And,
Nick Jonas, I think.
Yeah. So the show was great, and he was what he was. But
Well, is it the same kid that plays in Jumanji? Because that's Nick Jonas.
yeah, it was him. It was that guy. Yeah. He like I didn't even know he was a Jonas brother for the longest time until like the 3rd season, and then the show ended. But the show was really good. I will say that was an excellent show. Anybody that has access to it or can watch it, I would promote you to see it. I'm gonna listen to Old Town Road because I've never heard it before in my life. Is it by Lil Nas X?
Yeah, I think so.
And
I already-
Billy Ray
I already-
Cyrus.
Okay, well, here we go. Wait, I can't even hear it. Hold on.
I mean, maybe with Jonas Brothers, I'm just too old to like it. Maybe that's what it is. But it's just it's like with Old Town Road. They just play it every time I get in the car.
Okay, hold on. Is that guy's ass like completely, like his trunks are completely in his ass, or is he
Called
wearing a
It's a whole
thong?
Captain
scuba
Santa.
suit.
He is what he is. Why is the sound not coming through my headphones?
I don't know.
I mean, there's just so much man ass on my TV right now.
Oh, at least it's not Champa Man ass.
I mean,
There
Chomp
you
man
go.
ass
That's
is the best.
pretty solid man ass. I'm not gonna lie.
That's like solid fucking man ass. I'm like, he has no ass, but yet I can't look away.
Well, it's
Like,
'cause
he
his
looks
trunks
like-
get eaten by them every time
Do
he
you-
goes to the ring.
Do you know that? What is that statue with like, where it has like the chiseled ass? Is that the statue of David?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Someone had to chisel his ass.
What?
What? I'm watching Old Town Road. Just let me live in it. Hey, it's Chris Rock. The fuck?
Like, I don't know. I think the song is called Wallflower or something like that. It's a newer song. I like that one.
I've never heard this before in my life. Hey, it's Billy Ray.
Sunflower.
Rapist.
That's the name of the song. I gotta admit, I don't think that I've even heard all of Old Town Road because I heard like the first like minute of it and I was like, this is fucking awful, so I turned it off.
It's on. It's
I
on
mean,
the
it's
new
Billy
Rambo
Ray
trailer,
Cyrus.
too.
It's Billy Ray Cyrus drinking water, and
It's
Champa's
on
in
the
it
new
for some
Rambo-
reason.
It's on the new Rambo trailer too.
Oh,
Seriously.
God. Everything's a remake.
Oh god.
What in the literal
Even
fuck is
I'm a
happening?
remake.
What, Bobbit?
I'm a remake. Ooh.
Ooh. I mean,
That was fucking great, though. The guy shows up from Western Life. His legs are all fucked up. Kid looks at him. He's like, "Papa."
Out of everything that's been going on tonight, that's the thing that breaks Basement.
That was pretty good, though. I will give him that.
Hey, Okada won.
But it's just like, okay, with the country cross with like pop and rap,
It's garbage.
the only time that I actually enjoyed it was when Tim McGraw and Nelly.
You know what the
Yeah.
problem is? Like, rap hasn't become an actual art form. It's become just like, let me blast my beats until nobody hears what I'm saying.
Well,
It's just
and
like
you know,
a bunch
like
of bass. That's all it is.
I'm gonna be real. I mean, I enjoy Eminem's new album, but otherwise, like the only real rap that I like is '90s rap. Like there was, I'll take that back. There was some early 2000s stuff from like T.I. and stuff like that I enjoyed, but I really don't like rap today.
Yeah.
I just feel like this class of music has become like more about, just like all classes of music have become more about like the catchy. Rap has become about the catchy beat, where pop has become about the catchy lyrics, which are just repeating the same fucking thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You mean Ariana Grande songs, everything she does?
Like, I'm listening
How
to the
about fucking-
song and I have no idea
Well-
what the guy's saying. It's like all I hear is bass. Is this the way the song is supposed to be?
I guess the match is over.
With Okada winning as it should be.
Yep.
Okada.
And NVW and NJPW both tied at 2. So, yeah.
And now he's racing a car? What the fuck is happening? I mean,
Why is he shooting this guy in the cave?
yeah, wait till he gets. He's like, Papa?
The fuck, he's getting sucked through a hole. I don't understand what's happening.
I'm 75%
You want
done
to
the music
end the
video.
stream, Heather?
I'm going to right now, yes. With that being said, folks, I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you want to pop your predictions for TakeOver and SummerSlam, do so right down in the comments and see how well you stack up against our predictions. Although
I
will
am
say-
going to tell you right now, a horse will never beat a car. This is ridiculous, first and foremost.
Yes, it is. For the most part, this pay-per-view looks to be one of the most predictable pay-per-views as of late. So we'll see how things go.
Yes.
For right now, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you over on the Colbone Show on Sunday. So have a good night.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
A horse would never beat a car.
Seriously though, like Basement, I see what you're talking about with the bass.
I can't understand what's even happening. But a horse beat a car, which